Yo, episode 101. Let's get right down to business. Nate from False Idols Toys is in the waiting room already. We had a chat just a couple seconds ago. What's up to everybody that's in here? Pocket Salsa. I don't know what time you came in, my dude. 1:10 p.m. That was early. That was early. Winner, chicken dinner on that one. Jazz Wizzy, what's going on? DNS, what's going on, dude? Great conversation earlier today. Hobo Toys will be joining us later tonight. Zimico, sir, Lord, Von Fake Name, Bliss Receptor. Bliss Receptor, bro, you have one mighty package headed your way, dude. I finally found a box that would suffice for your very odd size winnings, but you should expect that soon. As a matter of fact, if you won anything in the last couple weeks, I'm looking at a stack of about 18 packages going out within the next 2 days. So you might get tracking, you might not if I get it. But if you won something recently, packages heading out. Dylan Clement, what is up, man? Dirty Yeti, what's going on? We'll take a look at the Spacesquatch piece later on. We got Nate coming in. Then we're gonna do some giveaways with Nate. Nate did give me an absorb at Assembly Required, but he has brought more. So there won't be one absorb going out tonight. There will be 4 absorbs going out tonight. Then we will get into Spacesquatch of the Multiverse. That was the show that happened this last weekend at Toyzday in Chicago, put on by ETC Toys. Tim will be coming in to join us. And then we are going to have a couple different artists from that show, including Hobo Toys, Donner Don't Care. Zybot will be in here. And then Nervous Wreck, I think, will also be in this evening as well to take a look at their pieces that they submitted. Those pieces, the best place to find those right now is on ETC's page. He reposted most of them on there. Definitely take a look at those. Lynn's the Rat Boy, what's going on? I could not really get into Toy Desure's page to view those pieces or see where they were. But if you go to ETC's page, he listed most of them in there. So we'll take a look at that in the second hour. Coming up right now, we got Nate from False Idol Toys, and we will bring him in right now. My man.
What's up, dudes? How y'all doing?
What is going on, my man?
Chilling. How's everybody doing? Good to see everybody out here. Just want to say, rocking my Strafe collab shirt. I know he mentioned it in the comments earlier. This is a little Strafe collab. He did a painting for me early on, so I want to give a shout out to the homie.
Nice, dude. I dig that. Where can we get those?
Well, after this show, I'm going to go ahead and post them up. I should have them up in my big cartel shop tomorrow.
That is awesome. So, thank you for saying that. Your big cartel shop. Let me put the banner up right now.
Yeah, we'll have those bad boys ready to go.
Wow, dude, that's awesome. Dre, what's going on?
Yeah, this is from a painting from maybe 6 years ago. So he did a gigantic painting.
I saw actually, I'm going to pull up your Instagram page here pretty soon, but I tagged some stuff, and a lot of them were the earlier posts, and saw that figure when you were doing that in resin, correct?
Yeah. It was about a 12-inch figure with 3 arms in resin. It was articulated at the head. It was a head and then the 3 arms with a full magnetic articulation. That was my first figure that I ever did, which was pretty wild. It was a lot of fun to do. Did a bunch of colors. That one actually was pretty much 100% blank resin. I didn't paint any of those. That was long before my painting adventures.
Yeah, and you know what, man? I'm just going to pull that up right now since we're talking about it. There's some other stuff. Now, first of all, we're going to talk about a couple different things, man, because you got a really good selection of resin on there, and then we move into vinyl. And even your collection, dude, what is up with your collection? You have a great collection going on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure that's going.
I was a collector long before I was a maker, for sure.
Yeah,
Um, I fell in love with this this type of art. We're all toy fans when we're kids, right? But discovering this type of art changed my life completely. It changed my direction, what I thought art could be, the accessibility of it, um, the fact that you could link up with a gallery and have a show, like all kinds of stuff with this form of artwork. And it starts in one place and it evolves over years. I started out collecting and taking photographs, and then it felt accessible enough for me to try making some of this stuff, and then I did. Met people that led me to the ability to actually produce these things. And then from there, you just go down the evolution of continuing to collect while also producing things, and then that evolves you even more. And now we are where we are, where there's just so many people to appreciate and look
yeah,
up to in this scene, and it's just mind blowing. So where I still feel like I'm finding a place in this scene because it's evolution. It's a beautiful thing. It's so cool.
yeah, man. Your account goes back pretty far, dude. And if like you just if you go all the way back to the beginning and then you just do a quick scroll without really stopping on anything, you can really see how we kind of got to where we're at now, and that it's still developing. I mean, there's definitely resin in there, there's collecting in there, there's vinyl in there, there's lots of paint in there. We're going to try to touch on all those things. But let's start with your collection, dude. Now, I had to
Sure.
thumbnail a couple of these just because you had some really early pictures of some stuff.
Yeah.
Um, let me see here. All right, man. I have one
Oh
of these.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
have I have one of those. It's not that style, but dude, these go back, and I think you might be the only other person that I know that has actually posted this piece before. Obviously, you're a Healy Made fan. You got some freaking beauties.
Absolutely.
Mm,
His stuff is incredible. Like when I first purchased Huey Mate's work, like I just didn't even understand how clean. Like it's so beautiful. That was also one of the pieces that just made me love mixed parts figures, like that like
yeah,
prototype concept. It
yeah,
just it just tingles my brain a little bit, like the mixed parts, like
uh,
every appendage, every piece is a different color. Oh man,
so
yeah.
good. That's another
And
one. That's freaking
that guy, like that was also what that piece was one of those pieces that you get, and you look at it and you see the influences and you see the originality and you just see the evolution. I keep saying this word, but how the artist took on this piece, and like I still look at it and it blows my mind that
yeah.
someone was just made this in their house, like or in their studio. Like that's not a factory piece. That's like it's so
It's
clean.
and
It's so impressive.
and this guy right here, I had never even seen this guy right here.
Oh yeah,
It's amazing. That's another great one.
like that neon Boba Fett. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a
super.
beautiful piece.
And then this piece right here, dude, I actually hit up Scott after I saw this. And I just saw this for the first time the other day. And I was like, bro, what is up with these? And he was like, wow, that's an old one. He said that he didn't even keep one of these for himself.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. That was when Scott was doing little auctions in his comments.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It
That
used
is,
to be so much fun. That was so many years ago. Like it was such a fun, like real time auction vibe, and everybody was really congratulatory with everybody. And like you'd get something, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, that's so sick! You got that one. That's so awesome."
yeah,
Yeah, I have those guys. All of them. Everything you just posted is like definitely part of my forever collection.
those are super sick. So here's what we were talking about right here, man. So this is, let's see when this was. This was May 17th, 2018. Now, this is the earliest one that I could find.
Yeah,
Where
that's some prototyping.
Yeah, so kind of prototyping, and then it looks like you started some sculpting, and now you said this was a 12-inch resin.
Yeah, that guy is ridiculously good.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah, my friend Justin helped me or helps teach me how to make a two-part mold to be able to make all of the pieces for it. And I still have the molds for it. I actually could still make those guys.
So, what was it in general that made you go from a collector to say, "Hey, I'm going to try this, on my own and see what I could do"? I think for a lot of people that were in, 2020 and above, I would say that time was a lot of factor for a lot of people because you had the time, right? Because you're at home
Yeah.
and we were just kind of stuck like that. But what is it specifically that made you want to give this a shot?
Well, yeah, it definitely wasn't time because when I started doing this, I
Sure.
definitely didn't have time.
Right?
I
And
was
that's
still working full time.
yeah.
Uh, and
This is
also, doing music and all kinds of other stuff. I think it was just the total fascination for the art form. It seemed so fun, and I used to sculpt in wax when I was younger. Like I
okay.
used to just melt down candles and make things out of candle wax. Like, it's dirty, it's weird, it's gross. But I did it for a while, and with no real end. And then about 20 years later, clay seemed a better idea to sculpt. So, I took the same skills that I was using when I was sculpting and weird candle wax stuff when I was stoned as a teenager. And then I decided to be a little bit more legitimate with it with an end game. Um, so, I'm seeing these designer toys, I'm seeing different artists doing bootleg concepts of like original bootlegs with resin, taking pieces, parts, kit bashes, and then making new figures with it. And I was like, well, can I do the same idea but just sculpt original pieces, parts, and then cast those and make original figures out of resin, make my original crazy Sofubi style monsters, but like make them resin. And so
right.
maybe I'm prototyping something that might eventually become a Sofubi piece. That was originally what I was trying to do. That was so long ago, and I
Yeah.
had no idea how I would get to making Sofubi. No concept, no clue. But the thought was there. And I was like, hey, maybe if I sculpt these things, if I just keep going with it, maybe I'll eventually figure out how to get there. And I did. No
That's
way I'm producing that guy
so you had Safubi in mind from the get go.
from the get go. If you
Wow.
look in some of the early posts, it even says, I even posted that maybe this will be Sofubi one day. Like a lot of my early posts had the
Right.
intention that these guys will be vinyl toys. But after producing this figure for a year or so, I decided to go to a much smaller scale because I started figuring out that like producing that large of a figure with that much articulation would cost like $10,000, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe
Right.
I should rethink how I'm doing this. And so I started sculpting miniature figures and producing my figures in 1 to 3 inch scale for the next several years, and then I continued to produce the head of this figure, the Kazan, and I made a miniature figure that actually fit into the top of the head,
Right.
and so it just became like more of its own figure as a head and an extra, just because it started just seeming like impossible. So I was like, okay, well let's set my goals a little lower until like maybe I can build some money or make a sculpt that seems a little more feasible to produce.
Yeah, exactly, man. And I was gonna say, what was the driving force as far as you deciding to go resin in, instead of vinyl? But I think you answered it pretty well right there. I think it's a number of things. Cost probably being, the biggest one. But I think that's probably, and you tell me. I mean, I know resin, like you can. if you're just starting off, just trying to mold something, right? Like you can probably go down to Michael's and get like basic shit, right? Like, and just kind of
Yeah,
mess around and at least get the feel for what you're trying to do. And vinyl's not like that. That vinyl's just it's kind of a different thing. Am I correct there?
yeah, and there's a lot of factors, and you have to start understanding like how the pieces parts can be pulled. Like certain shapes can't be pulled, so like you have to start learning to sculpt to the fact that like this has to be pulled in vinyl. So like you
Right.
can't necessarily have weird angles or anything. It has to be very like your 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 shapes have to be a lot more contained.
Right.
And so like learning that over time really just makes you understand like, okay, I'm not ready for this at all. Like I was not ready for vinyl at that point in any way. But I was ready to continue casting, and resin actually I fell more in love with for a solid 4 years, 5 years, all through COVID. Like I was casting every day through COVID. Like it was awesome.
Yeah.
I hate to say that because COVID was terrible, but
Right.
being able to be in my basement at my previous house and just my wife and I down there pouring colors and mixing things and experimenting and having a good time with each other, like really was amazing for the two of us. Like we had a great time doing stuff. So
Right.
like
Um,
resin casting was amazing.
yeah, exactly, man. And there is so I'm gonna try to go in order here because you had some paint stuff before your vinyl stuff. But dude, the paint is so good. God, I had to highlight just a few of these. Like this is
Oh, thank you.
dude, this is crazy right here. Let's talk about your painting, man.
So
Gosh.
that was when I was still using acrylic paints. So
Okay.
that's no airbrush whatsoever. That's 100% brush work. And so I don't know if I've said this to many people, but like I spent a long time only doing brushwork painting
Mhm.
because I wanted to develop technique. And then once I felt like I was good enough, in my opinion, at brushwork, that's when I brought in the airbrush. So like I wanted to have like a really nice balance of like foundation of using a paintbrush in traditional technique on figures, like painting figures before I brought the airbrush in, because not to say the airbrush is easier, but airbrush, you can get things done a lot faster. So like I wanted to be able to apply the slowness and contemplation of the brushwork technique and then be able to apply that thought process to using the airbrush, if that makes sense. Because like I said, you get the airbrush on, you can cover a lot of ground real quick. But with brushwork, that's all brushwork. That takes a lot of time, a lot of contemplation on placement of color, and then like learning how to like fade, like so for example, there like fading that metallic purple into the metallic green, like learning to do that and like appreciating like the difficulty of fading those colors. Like I I don't really know what I'm saying here, but other than like I feel like having a good foundation and understanding how to use a brush before going to an airbrush
Sure.
can definitely inspire and inform your usage of the airbrush. I think that is more where I was trying to go with that.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, man. This is freaking beautiful work, dude. And just like you said,
Thank
man, kind
you.
of, yeah, developing some technique before you dive in.
Yeah,
Uh,
that because that's all of these are all dry brush. These are all dry brush.
wow, dude, these are so freaking good. Now, this was
Yeah,
a
these
series,
all I
right? You
sold
did
all of these at assembly required actually.
okay. So this goes back. So you've been doing assembly required. This was 2019. Was that the first one that you did, or were you there in 18 as
That
well?
that was might have been my second. That was my second one. Maybe my third. Shit, maybe my third one.
Wow.
I can't remember when I started. I think it might have been my second one.
This one is wild right here too. God dang. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that was when I was going for like the more like miniature, like tabletop figure style painting.
Right. Oh man, those are good. We'll get to this one in a second. Man, even that's a
My straight
great
collection.
picture, dude. That was so much fire. I had to save that one. That one was really good. Um, let's see here. But then here's some more of your resin work here. So let's go back to the resin, man. What's the deal with resin? Have you put that aside permanently now, or are you?
Absolutely not. I'm actually molding a figure in my shed right now. That's about he's about yay big. He's actually will accompany the absorb figure really well. It's inspired by uh, like an irradiated zombie. So I'm going to be doing some casts of that. I had hoped to have some ready to show for tonight, but um, the silicone that I had was just shy of finishing the mold. But I got me the rest of my silicone in today, so hopefully I'll have some this weekend for sale, or maybe next weekend. But it's a fun little space zombie. Um, he's not little, like I said, he's about 4 inches tall. But it'll be solid resin, and I'll be doing some castings. And it's likely that I'll do a combination of marbled resin and paint. So look for those. It's kind of inspired by like a 50s, 60s movie, the
Hmm.
Incredible Melting Man. If anybody's seen that film, I'm sure some of you guys have seen that one. It's a weird one. It's crazy. This guy like comes back from space, his skin melts off, and then he goes on a rampage of eating people. It's pretty wild.
That's insane, dude. These right here, these bone ghosts. Um, this
That
one,
was actually shit, that was some of the first stuff I've ever airbrushed right there.
that is really good, dude. But this one right here, dude, what an absolute shame. I never saw this until like
Yeah, I
today.
love some pastels, man. Some
Oh
pastels.
God, dude, that looks like a dream, dude. That is nuts, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's good. Um, so when you're doing pieces like this, so this is just like an kind of like an unofficial collab, right? You're buying the pieces and painting them on your own.
Yeah, yeah. So with this guy, he at many points is like, please buy my stuff, like paint it up, do whatever you want with it. Like, dude is super. He's the best. Like, he's one of the coolest dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, like I try not to do unofficial collabs. Sometimes artists tend to be touchy. I don't want to just buy blank vinyl, paint it up, and sell it. That's
Right.
not the route that I'm trying to go.
Yeah,
So
sure.
like I always want to, ask people and be in contact. But there's been a time in the past where he actually let me use some of his figures to do like a little like we did a stop motion animation cartoon
Oh,
with a friend of mine, and we used his toys as the characters. Like so he's one of the nicest guys.
yeah, man. I have several of those pieces, and I mean, they're so good, dude. Even that, I was really blown away when he did that 3.75. But he's got
Oh
a lot
yeah,
of other, like more action style figures coming out now, which are super, super sick, man.
his,
Uh,
his skill continues to blow me away, and their creativity as a duo is continues to be awesome. And I think that they have longevity and creativity that so many artists don't have, and they just
yeah,
have such a cool like universe. I love it.
yeah, yeah. Um, super good all around. And dude, again, this is just you obviously have a nice little Strafe 7 collection, man. I love Chris. He's awesome, dude. He's one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh yeah, check this out. I've got a whole jar of Stray muscle figures. These are all cast by Stray.
Let
Whole
me
jar.
let me put the picture. Oh, dang it, I screwed that up. Let me see if I can put you in the full picture there.
Yeah, here we go. Fun little whole jar. Whole jar of them. This guy's beautiful. But yeah, whole jar.
That's
Yeah,
dope,
he used to do a bunch of really sick um, muscle casts, and there's a couple original muscle figures I sent him out, and he made molds of them and made some crazy cool, beautiful ones. So,
nice. Yeah, man. He's got. I mean, shoot, I've seen a few of those. The zombie knots, and then there's some other variants coming out too, which are always super sick. But that's a nice little collection you got there, man.
yeah, this little guy's really
Oh
cool.
yeah, that's nice. Do you have any Heelys like that?
Not in here, no. No,
Yeah,
I don't have any of the marbled Heelys. But man, that recent release that he did was insane.
the Baba.
Yeah,
That dude, right? Did you
whoa, like
did you get
jaw
one of those?
dropping. I did not. I was not able to grab one, but man, those were pretty. Those are pretty.
The eyes on those thing, man. The orange eyes, it's the yellow and black
Makes
Baba.
everything pop.
Oh my god, it's insane, dude. I'm gonna go back to sharing the screen real quick, man, because we're just getting into where it goes over into vinyl. And what I was gonna ask you was what made you take the jump into vinyl? But it sounds like that was kind of a goal from the get-go, was kind of getting into vinyl. So here we are in 2021 with kind of your first vinyl post of
Yeah,
something you're making, man. So this pretty much is like a dream come true right here.
yeah, absolutely. That's the absorb toy. That was what I sculpted pretty much throughout COVID. That was what I spent a lot of time. It went through a lot of different iterations. Originally, the face was going to be something different, but I decided the face was more appropriate, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, like that was the one that I decided was going to be the first jump. Um, I've got regrets. I've got, plenty of positive, plenty of things that I might have done differently. But in the end, I'm super happy with it. I love the piece. I love the figure. I love the duality of the toy. That's really what I was going for. Like the ability for you to pop the arms out and plug them in the other way and spin it around, and it's like a completely different toy altogether. Um, it takes a lot of time to it takes a lot to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna sink this much money into a figure, but I spent about 2 years sculpting it, and for me that's an incredible amount of time sculpting,
Yeah,
because normally I spend a couple months on something, and then I'm used to spending a couple months on something, and then from there making the silicone mold and then producing it. So to like know that I'm going to spend this money and I'm going to have, spend years producing this toy over and over in different colorways and stuff, I was like, well, let me make sure that I'm not just like rushing it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Um, man, this is God. So this goes back to 2021, and you're obviously still making this figure. Um, There was a question. Let me see. RetroZone Neon had a good question, man. I'm curious how
uh-huh.
you get in contact with a factory for vinyl and how you get started on the manufacturing process, which is a question that I think a lot of people have, especially that
Yeah.
are resin now and are thinking, man, I want to do a vinyl toy. I know a couple people personally who are kind of in that same situation. What would be your answer to something like that? Say you're just making resin and you're saying, man, I want to turn this into a vinyl toy. Where should you start?
So I would start with yes. So now I would say more so than ever. the accessibility to a factory is like it's pretty open. It's not that difficult to get your work into a factory to be produced in the soft vinyl. But the question is, are you confident in your sculpt? So that's really the now I would say more so than ever, like because of the availability, because you can have your pieces produced by Mile High Sofubi. You can have
Sure.
your in America. You can have your pieces produced in China by several different companies. And then, sure, you can have your work produced in Japan. That's going to take you maybe a couple year turnaround. So, like, I would start with an American company or a company based in Hong Kong. And if you have any questions about that, you're welcome to contact me personally. I don't necessarily want to call those factories out on here because,
Sure.
whatever.
Sure.
But really, it's a little bit expensive, but you can make your money back. So that's why I say, like, I would say look at the scene, look at what people are interested in as collectors. From there, look at what sculpt you're working on, and at that point, are you confident that you think that that sculpt is ready for production? And if so, then go for it. Like I would say, make sure you save up about at least 1,500 to 3 grand based on shipping, all of the other production costs, because it might cost more based on the size of your sculpt, based on the amount of articulation you want, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I would say go in there with a base of like 3 grand to play with, and then from there, like it's the world is your oyster. It's really not that difficult these days to get your pieces produced into soft vinyl. And if you feel confident in your work, I say go for it because the scene needs more artists. Let's go. Let's do it. I would say, and as I said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to contact me. Like I'm happy to be a resource when it comes to having the avenue to having your pieces produced in this medium. Because when I first was wanting to do this, nobody was telling anybody how to do it. Like uh, people were very tight-lipped about where to
Sure.
go because
Sure.
people had fear that the lines are going to get clogged. They won't get their pieces produced. Whatever. It's like that's actually not the truth. So
And now, as
like
far as vinyl producers, man, like, and I get stuff in my junk mail all the time, and people are asking. It's just random companies asking if I have a vinyl piece that I wanted to get produced. I don't
yeah,
know if that's like a legitimate thing where you answer one of those and then that process kind of begins. But I would think that there's a lot of people, that definitely makes sense, man. If you only think that there's a few makers out there, you don't want the lines to get clogged in the year. You don't want your piece to get produced. I guess I never thought about it like that, but from what you're saying, it sounds like there's a lot of vinyl producers out there. Is there a lot of vinyl producers in America?
I think right now there's only one, but there's going to be two, as far as I know, because I know Akathic Records, Toys, they're over there doing some pulling on the West Coast.
Okay.
So I've seen some stuff. I've seen some artists. I think Wonder Goblin is having his little Wonderbot pulled by them.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, yeah. All right.
yeah, I think that's being pulled over there. And then, of course, you've got Mile High Stuff Fubi. That's where you have like unaffiliated and so many other Spirit Ditch Toy. A bunch of really awesome vinyl artists are having their work pulled in Colorado. Ophelia Toy,
Oh,
all of
dude.
their vinyl, yeah, that's all being pulled in Colorado by Mile High Stuff Movie.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Okay.
they are very much an option for American produced soft vinyl toys. So
Nice. Killer's
if
putting out another
any,
suggestion here for Squibble Sync. Squibble Sync if you want soft vinyl.
there you
Um,
go.
yeah, that's sweet, man. Dude, Ophelia Toys, man. Holy smokes.
What
Uh,
a genius! What a genius!
really, really good vinyl work, dude. Holy smokes. The
And a
sucker.
sweetheart of a person. Like
Super
I
nice guy.
really enjoy working with them.
Yeah, he's super nice, man. We talked about him being on the show, and I know that he was in the middle of a move there for a minute, and wanted to wait till things kind of chill out for a little bit. But yeah, dude, his work is awesome. Also, his paint work is super sick too, man.
Wild. He's
Wild,
a
wild.
he did a early run of absorbs, and that blew my mind. He did
So how does that work?
4 one-offs.
So when you're making absorbs, let's say, and then how does that process start with you as far as you want to get a collab out there and someone to paint those up for you? How do you go about that?
usually, usually I do a lot of complimenting them. Um,
Get them ready, right? Get them
so
ready.
I flirt with them a lot. Um, yeah, I compliment them a lot and see how they bite towards my work in the sense of like if they're like, oh yeah, yeah, I think your work's cool too. I'm like, so would you want to paint some though?
Mm.
And I've never been told no. So I always split. You know, I always make sure to split the profits with the artist. Like I'm never like, thanks for painting, and then I
Yeah, yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
exactly, man. I think as long as everybody's getting something out of it, for their time
yeah, yeah.
and
Because like
materials.
I've worked with Kachina. I've worked with. I've actually got some stuff coming out with Toffer Toy.
Oh, dude,
I've done some a couple of absorbs with Top, and they're incredible. So he's going to be painting some Yappy and that crazy mashups. Um, who else have I had? I just had Kappa Squat Toy
mm,
do a one-off series that sold out in minutes, which was freaking awesome.
yeah,
I've had some fantastic collaborations. I've been really lucky to have a lot of my friends paint my work, and um, it's so cool to see people's interpretations of a piece that you made because you never know where it's going to go. It's so
yeah.
cool.
That's awesome, man. And I think that's a very good point right there. Is you can take the same piece over and over and over again, and depending on who you send it to, you're definitely going to get a different feel from everybody. Like you said, Kachina, his stuff's going to look different than like the ones that Strafe Seven just did. Those ones are super sick in their own right. You know what I mean? They're completely different, same figure, but still just a completely killer look. Um, man, it. So what's next, man? I know you said you're working in some resin again, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to be producing a new toy in resin because I'm just not ready to produce more vinyl yet. But yeah, I've got a really fun toy that I'm going to have coming out in resin. So that look for that in the next couple weeks to a month at least. But I want to be able to produce enough to make sure the molds are good enough to be able to produce, at least 10 to 12 of them, something like that. So
Yeah.
that look for that one. That's definitely coming up. And then we have the Monster Go Go show happening in Australia. So
Nice.
a couple of pieces. I did a collab piece with Pocket Salsa. He did his velvet stuff, vinyl, the clear vinyl stuff with velvet, which is beautiful. And then I went back over top of it and did some fun airbrushing to like
Nice.
bring out everything. And that guy turned out sick. So that's going to be a one off. That's going to be in Australia. And then I did a collaboration with another artist yet to be named. I'll post that soon enough. And
Nice.
then I did a couple. I did a one-off Yapionette for the show with a painted severed head resin casted skull.
Mm,
Um, and then what else did I do? And then I did a really fun piece that was inspired by Galactus, actually, from the Marvel universe. So it's a
nice.
Grody Shogun body, and then the
Okay.
top half is an absorb turned around so the skull face is showing, and
Mhm.
then it's two gun arms that look like the Galactus, like the things coming off of Galactus's
Right.
helmet.
Wow.
And I did Galactus colorway. So
Nice.
and then so that guy's really fun. So I call it, it's kind of like an arch absorb or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so
Oh,
those
that's
guys, I have a ton of photos. I'll be posting those guys closer to the show. Um,
nice. What
so
about
I
your
got that.
you still doing the band?
Yeah, yeah. Dumbwaiter is still very active. Working on the new record right now.
Nice.
Um, we were supposed to be going up to New York to record with the guitar player singer of Gojira, which is like a big, pretty big metal band. But we've rescheduled that for September because I had some family emergencies. A lot of you guys know about the dog stuff that I've been going through. I didn't want to make that a focus of the show, but all that has reached out, much love. I appreciate you guys. It means a lot. All of you guys. Thank you guys so much. But anyway, so we rescheduled that stuff for September. So we're going to be redoing all the stuff we were supposed to do. So the band's still rocking, doing awesome stuff. And if any of you guys haven't heard us, we're on Spotify. It's Dumbwaiter. It's like instrumental jazz rock fusion, noise rock, weird stuff. If you like saxophone run through distortion pedals, go check it out.
Yeah, there you go. Um, so one thing that I didn't hit on, dude, was going back to when you were a kid, man. Were you a so you're obviously a collector now. Have you always been a collector?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What was it for you when you were growing up, man? What was the
I was
stuff?
a huge Masters of the Universe
Yeah.
fan,
Okay.
Ninja Turtles fans. Huge, like love that stuff. Like
Mm,
the vehicles, the toy sculpts, the colors. I was always a collector of the bad guys, because I
yeah.
loved the purples and the blues and the masks. I was always a big fan of bad guys wearing masks. So like Cobra Commander and all that kind of stuff. Like, and then obviously the mask series of toys, the little guys that had the helmets that went on. Loved all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I've always been a collector. So once I stopped collecting toys into my teens, it started getting into collecting music. Became super into collecting uh, jazz records and weird, obscure metal and punk records. I still have, as you might be able to see, I still have a huge record collection down here.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah, huge record collection of all kinds of different types of music.
Nice. Jazz
I love everything from
Jazz Wizard's getting excited, man. That dude's
yeah,
record collection is off the hook.
yeah, dude, records, punk, jazz, reggae, psychedelic rock, like everything, everything. I love music, country, everything. You know, I
Nice.
collected. So like that took about 20 years of my life, and then I rediscovered, or I discovered the whole like toy community, vinyl toys, resin toys, bootleg toys, all that stuff. And so I started collecting. I was just playing hard. I started collecting carded figures. I was getting stuff from Scott. I was getting stuff from Super Secret Fun Club,
Yeah, nice.
which is a fun little company that like their ideas blew my mind. And then I started, getting Healy made stuff
Right.
and that damn Joe, all those guys, all that stuff. And then I was like, wow, maybe I'll start doing this stuff myself,
Yeah.
while also collecting. And so I started making toys, and then a lot of times using that toy money that I made to like buy a vinyl toy. Because I was like, well, I don't really have, I don't have $150, so maybe I'll use the sales and I'll buy a vinyl toy.
You know
And
what's
then
funny, dude, is every time I go to a show like AR or Designer Con, you start talking to artists and they're like, I wish I would have made more money. And then they're like, how much did you buy though? And you're like, well, I made like I spent like $800 worth of stuff. And it's like, all right, well, so you did make money. You spent it right away, but that's
supporting everybody else.
yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Dude, so I have this absorb
Yeah.
that you handed me at Assembly Required, man. We are going to give that out tonight. Um,
That actually might be one of my favorite paint jobs of the Absorb that I have personally done.
wow, nice, dude. So this is your paint on here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that's a great one, dude. The paint on the back face is really cool too. I don't want to take it out, but man, that is sick. Um, and what else do you got, man? We were chatting before the show. What else do you got?
All right. So also, I've never released this before. This is a completely clear,
Whoo!
unpainted Absorb. So this guy's going to go out. And then I also have I've released this guy once a couple years ago. I've got one super, super, super pink guy. So I've got these two guys, blanks, as well as I painted a one off for the show. This guy on clear, neon clear vinyl.
Wow, look at
So
that neon.
this guy is also hyper UV reactive. So it's got magenta, neon orange,
Oh,
translucent paints on this guy. So
that is
he's
very nice, dude.
these guys are all going to go out for free. And I'll cover the shipping and all that kind of stuff as well. So whoever gets picked, just DM me. I got 3 toys to go out for free.
Those are awesome, dude. Thank you for that. And you did the paint on that last guy as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice, nice, very cool. All right, let's get to this real quick. Let me take a look and see. I don't know how many we got up to this week, but I don't know if you saw some of the comments. Well, I know you saw a lot of comments because you replied to a lot of them. But man, it looks like
Mm-hmm.
you had a really good chance to kind of dig through your account there, and they came up with some killer pieces, dude. Some pieces that I didn't even realize existed, like those collabs with Bootleg Toyco, with
Yeah.
the buddies.
Oh,
Uh,
those were so fun. He and I, we were on one there for a minute.
those are
he was
great, man.
he was producing some awesome stuff, and he would like produce a bunch of stuff and then send it to me, and then I would paint it, and then we would sell it and split the money. And we were on one. It was awesome. And then he did me a solid, and he was able to produce the the little Cobra Burgers toy
Right,
for me, as well as the Bergie Buds toy for me, because I was having a challenge of a time trying to figure out how I was going to. Because the first one, the snake burger, I actually hand sculpted it, and it was huge, and it was supposed to be for a kids meal style toy. It's like a mock of a kids meal style toy, and so I started seeing his work, and we started chatting, and I hit him up, and I was like, "Hey, I've got this sculpt, and I have a bunch of photos of it. Is there any way that we could maybe make this a thing that's like this big instead of this big?" And yeah, we started just chatting it up, and created a really awesome relationship, and he
yeah.
was able to get that worked out for me. And we that was for a restaurant here in Richmond, and
Oh, nice.
um, yeah, it was super fun. Like it was just like it was a fun little community project because it's a
Yeah,
couple of guys I used to work with a long time ago, and they opened a restaurant, and they knew I was making toys, and they're like, "Hey, like what if we did, we're a burger restaurant, but we're a metal burger restaurant. You walk in the door, it's just like brutal metal, loud as shit. The walls are all black. Like it's it's awesome. It's hilarious. It's a cliche, but it's so hilarious and it's great.
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And they're like, let's do Rat Pink. And I was like, Rat Pink I love Rat Pink. So
That's awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so I worked on that during COVID, and I just couldn't figure out a way that I could legitimately make a cast of it. I was just like, without it being like $60 a piece,
yeah, yeah.
like the
Right.
material costs were too much. Like I wrote up I read up a quote and I was like, I can't even send them this. This is too much. Like, this is too expensive. And so I sat. It was on the back burner for like a year or so, and then the 3D printing toy concept started becoming much more tangible, and it was blowing up. It was, like people were, because like early on when you see a 3D print of something, it's like you see all the lines in it, and it's just like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sand the shit out of this thing.
Right. Right.
But then I was seeing bootleg toy companies cast or his prints, and they were just like so clean, and they were whimsical, and he was getting angles that you could never get trying to cast something in resin. And so I was like, oh
Right.
man, this is the route, this is the route. And we were able to get that done, and then from there he started doing all the fun, magnetic toys, and I was like, just send me stuff. Let me paint, send it to me. I want to
Yeah.
paint all this stuff. And
Yeah.
it was also just a great way to practice using the airbrush.
Sure.
And people seem to love them. I don't have a single one left. All
Yeah.
that stuff's old.
Those were great, man. I mean, the Lynn's the Rat Boy stuff, how that kind of all works together. And I didn't even realize, dude, I must have missed that collab between all three of you guys. I don't know where I missed that, dude. I know it was kind of like a micro run, but so good, dude. I think just that the idea of those when those came out, I mean, dude, they were great. I mean, the swappability that you can do with those and how many different
It was
combinations,
cool.
it's crazy. Like I have this. This is what he made. This is me and Crumbs.
Oh yeah, he showed me that early on. Like before he showed you that, he showed
Yeah,
me that.
these are great, dude. I
It
mean,
blew my mind.
but so I mean, and you talk about how small the stuff is, dude. Like, look at the action figure in my hand right there. It has arms, and it's like they're perfect. You know what I mean?
It's incredible. He's so talented.
Yeah. Look at Crumbs right there, dude. That is so much gold right there.
It's so good.
Ah, man,
He kills it.
I
He
love it.
kills it.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of my favorite artists. Just he's so creative. And it's
Dude,
so
he's so
funny
good.
because I remember talking to him early on, and he's just like, like I just feel like I don't have any ideas. Like people send me stuff and I make it. I'm just like, yeah, but like people send you like the most prototyped, like barely idea, and you turn it into like a fully realized toy. Like, what are you talking about? Like your ability is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And that idea, Puzzle Panther says the idea for the duo toy. Yeah, it's great. I love it because you can do, like I said, the swappability on there. You get 4, 5, 6 of those things going. You can make different combos all the time. But yeah, like you said, dude, super clean work. He won the grand prize last week on the 100th show for that big ass.
The chain.
Oh
He
man,
deserves it.
oh, dude, headed to Wichita, Kansas, bro. He's gonna be walking around town in Wichita, Kansas with that thing on. That
He
is amazing.
needs. I need a photo that he didn't take of himself just in Walmart or something. Just like
Oh man,
where rocking the chain, just doesn't even know the photo's being taken. It's like,
exactly. All
or
right,
he needs to have a full on grill, just like
uh,
in Walmart or something. Whatever.
there you go. So all right, so I'm gonna share the screen. We're gonna give away some absorbs here. Let's see what's going on. We have 33 people in the room, I believe. Or that yeah, that were let me change that real quick. Children's Tylenol will pass on that today. 33. All right. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute just so we can see exactly what we're going for. So the first one that we're going to give away is this one. This one is freaking awesome, man. This is the Absorb. This is painted by False Idols Toys. Bagged with the header. Stickers inside. Man, that should really be the grand prize for tonight. But since I opened my mouth, we'll do this one right now. Here we go. Let's see. We're going to share the screen. Good luck, everybody. 1 through 33. Here we go for the absorb. Ooh, the wheels on a good one tonight.
Congrats.
Get out of town right now, Jazz Wizard.
Yeah, homie.
Scully,
appropriate.
State of Kentucky. Jazz
Congrats.
Wizard, man. You deserve it, dude. That's
yeah,
awesome.
You do. Much love to you.
I think I have Will's address memorized by now. Will's been winning since day one. And we're going on 2 years now. That's a great win, man. Congrats, Will. All right, dude. Which
Big
one do you
ups
want
to Will on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start with let's do the painted one last. So we'll start with the pink guy right here.
Nice.
It's
dope,
hard to even see. It's so pink.
Yeah, you're right, dude. It is. That is super sick, though. Now, are you selling blanks of these right now? If people want to go, if they
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not. But if you want to paint some, feel free to reach out to me. I am always down for collabs. I usually don't sell blanks, mostly because they don't sell very well. Like every time I put them in my store, nobody buys them. So I just don't really do it. It's not because I don't want to sell them. It's just because they don't sell for shit.
Yeah, that's I didn't realize that, man. I thought that blanks would sell.
They might sell for some people. They just don't sell for me.
Yeah, that's true. I do buy blanks though, because what I like to do is send those out to other artists and get them painted. And actually, when Donner Don't Care comes on, I'll show a couple pieces that I've done just that, blank pieces from other people.
Like feel free to reach out if you want. I've got 8 different colors, so feel free to reach out if you want to buy a blank absorb. I'll send you some to paint.
Boom. All right, ETC already saying that he'll paint some for you. Here we go. Absorb pink blank.
Pink vinyl. And this guy will come packaged with stickers and all that good stuff as well.
There you go.
What is it? Spinning.
Yeah, look at it. The wheel's on fire tonight.
17.
That is
you.
Grim Thimble Art. That is one I don't know, but their comment was always down to collect a piece from Nate. Love the Ubs.
Well, you get a pink one. This one's going to you.
Yeah, Grim Thimble Art.
Just DM me. Just DM me your address and all that kind of stuff, and I'll make sure it gets out to you.
There you go. Grim Thimble _ art is the IG name. There you go. You have won a pink absorb. Very nice, man. What next one you got?
All right. So next we're gonna do the clear. This one's glass clear. It's gonna be really hard to see, but yeah, this one's totally clear. I love clear vinyl. It's super fun. You can stuff it with things, paint over top of it, paint inside of it. It's
right.
One of the most fun things to paint. I know Plague Earth Productions and I have talked about that many times. Just sometimes he and I have agreed that it almost makes no sense to get any other color than to get clear vinyl, because you can paint it anyway, whereas every other vinyl has limitations based on the color. So I don't have a ton of these left, so this is the only time this will ever be available. A clear absorb.
Oh man! And you only have one of those?
I've got more, but they won't be ever released as a blank.
Oh, gotcha. You're gonna paint them up. Gotcha.
Yeah, they'll either be painted or used as collabs, stuff like that. So yeah.
Nice.
You will be the lucky owner of the only clear vinyl release of an Absorb.
The number is number 25.
25.
25. Who is 25?
Oh, there you go.
It's close. This one, here's another one that I'm not sure. Spirit Crusher 84.
Ooh.
As a longtime collector and fan of Safubi, I've enjoyed watching the Absorb grow and expand with new colors and collabs. Hope to see more in the future.
Oh, you will. I've
Spirit
got too many. No.
Do you know who that is? Spirit Crusher 84?
Yeah. I don't know their name personally, but I know their account for sure.
Amazing collection.
Absolutely. It might even be a fellow Virginian, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but there's someone. Yeah, I know this person's collection is insane. They do all the photos that have like kind of vegetation in the background. Am I correct?
Absolutely, you got it. Absolutely, man. There is, man. So, dude, one thing that I was thinking when I saw this, and I think this is what kind of brought me full circle on having more shows where collectors are showing their collections, because this is one dude that I would definitely reach out to. His page is beautiful, man. If anybody
Yeah.
has not seen that, Spirit Crusher 84 on IG, check that out. Wow.
Yeah, he's got a great collection.
Wow.
He's been
awesome.
collecting my work since the resin days.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good one. Spirit Crusher 84, you have one. And the last one you got, my man, is the
Ooh, we got this neon. So this guy's on neon green vinyl, translucent neon green, and I painted this guy with translucent magenta, translucent orange, and translucent black airbrush paint. And we got one little dot on the eye there in the back. So this guy is completely translucent, extremely UV reactive. And this guy will also come packaged and all that stuff with stickers. And this is a one-off just for the show for tonight.
Wow. That's a killer one, man. And that's definitely a one-off.
Yep, 100%. And it was inspired by one that I did as a custom for Strafe. So I took some of the colors that I used and decided to kind of invert the color scheme.
Nice. Very cool. All right. So here we go with the last Absorb of the night. Here we go. 1 through 33. Ooh, low number. Low number.
Number 3. Yeah.
Oh, nice. FKD Toys. Suki.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Congrats.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. High fives. High fives. High fives.
That's awesome. Great win for FKD Toys, man. Yes.
Yeah, dude. Just like I said, just DM me your address and I'll get those sent out to you guys as soon as possible.
Awesome, man. That's very cool. I will probably send these guys a DM just in case some of them are not in the room watching. But Nate, dude, thank you for your time, man. That was an awesome visit, dude. I feel like we barely scratched the surface of not only what you've done up to this point, but kind of where you're going. I think it's, what's very cool, I think, is if you go back to the beginning of your posts, you see that, you started off and it seemed like it was just music stuff. And then you see the progression into all these different things. And then you're just, nailed the resin, nailed the painting, nailed the vinyl. And then you start combining all of them. And it's just like, dude, You are just a machine spitting out the goodness right now, man. That's awesome.
Trying my best. So I know you and I chatted with this a little while ago, but one thing to look forward to, it's a little while down the road. I'm going to be doing a toy art show here in Richmond in November. I'll be curating a gallery. I'll be posting more about like artist call, all that kind of stuff, because I'm going to definitely be looking at friends to be showing artwork. And like I said, this is going to be a full on gallery. It's going to be a full month show. I was approached by a really fun gallery here in Richmond to do this. So that's the big thing for me this year. But other than that, we'll be doing some fun releases here and there. I'm going to try to be more active on releasing things more like weekly, bi-weekly, more than just a month or every month, every other month. Work kind of punished me at the end of the year last year, so I had to not produce as much work as I wanted to. But yeah. So thank you again. I can't thank you enough for having me on the show. I had a blast. Thank you guys all for tuning in and checking things out. I'm stoked that people are into it.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Thank you for the giveaways again, man. And when is your show?
That will be November of this year.
November of this year. Okay, and I'm sure you'll be posting about it ahead of time. So if you guys are in Richmond, Virginia area, I know there's a lot of people in that area just from going to Assembly Required. That kind of drove in from different points. But if you're in that area, that would definitely be something to go check out. So keep an eye out around November for that. Nate, you're an absolute saint, my man. Thank you for coming in.
All right. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Right
Thank
on,
you guys again for all reaching out in my time of need. It meant a lot. And like I said, love you guys.
Love you, man. Take it easy, buddy. Boom. False Idols Toys. How about that one? Here's something that's really, really, really bothering me about my screen right now. Look down over here. You see these? You see this row of Babas? This guy has fallen. And it's annoying me to no end right now. I'm going to fix that. False Idol Toys. Make sure that you check that out when you can. Oh, I see. There's two of you guys. All right. Back to the show. False Idols Toys. Give him a follow. Get in there and take a look at his store. There's some very cool stuff in there. He's got a live show coming up. He's got an in-person show coming up in November, so keep an eye out for that. Super generous dude. We got to talking before the show just for a quick minute about kind of the community in general and how, just like he said there at the end, people really kind of showed up and showed out and for him in his time of need. And it's just another very cool thing about the community when people can do that and kind of put toys aside for a minute and realize that somebody needs, a little pick me up, and people came through for them. So that was awesome. ETC is going to be in the house right now. We are going to talk about the Spacesquatch. Yeah, beat to the grumpy. I'm good, man. Honestly, Pocket Salsa. I got nothing to be grumpy about, man. Pieces fall over. It is what it is. But anyways, I got Tim from ETC coming in. We're going to talk about the Spacesquatch of the Multiverse show. Now, that show happened last weekend at Toyzday. The best place to check out these pieces is going to be on ETC's page. He did a great job of tagging some of those. We're going to go over these piece by piece tonight. Over 20 artists. ETC coming to the stage right now.
I'm here.
What's up, man?
All right.
There he is. What is going on, my dude?
Chilling, chilling. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Spacesquatch of the Multiverse, man. Now, this was a in-person show, Toy du jour. Is it, and the pieces are still on display?
Yeah, they will be, I believe so, for the rest of this week and uh, probably another week, if not the whole month. I think it's just another week after this, though.
Gotcha.
But
Now,
they will
what?
go. They're going for sale actually tomorrow on the Toy du jour page. They'll all be claim sale style. So whoever comments first that they want them, I'm guessing that's how that works. And whatever is left over from the sales from last weekend is what's going up on Friday.
Awesome, man. That answered my question on how do you buy these things. I was going freaking nuts earlier trying to get into the page, trying to find the show. I'm like, I see it there, but I can't get in. There's nothing in the shop. I obviously missed a post somewhere because they that's typically how they do that, right? Is they do a kind of a claim sale for whatever they have in person. So
Yeah, usually the first couple nights or the first week, they only allow the people who come to the show to buy, and then anything left over, you know.
gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's start talking about the piece itself, man. What is it that made you dedicate a whole show to this guy? This is now this is version 2, correct?
Yeah, it's the second version. He's a bit taller
Yeah.
than the first one.
Oh,
So
yeah, he's bigger. That's for sure.
camera's backwards on me. I'm going to the right, they're going to the left. Maybe. Never mind.
There's a way, if you look on your screen, man, there's a way to fix that. There's like a little settings tab if you ever get to it. But dude, I did like 5 episodes like that. It was driving me nuts.
So yeah, the first run that I did was the Brazil ones, the little ones, and I've got brand new colors in the shop right now. Very limited. There's only a few left of the green, the pink, and the black. And but those actually, all of those pretty much sold out on the first drop. So I went nuts and on the second one and got four different colors, 25 each. Wow, that was a little too much of the same color of each. So I ended up with probably about 35, 40 of them left over. So I took 30 of them
Mm.
and I decided to make a show with them instead of just sitting on them. And, I didn't paint at that time. I do now. I actually just started airbrushing today and it's really fucking fun. But,
Yeah, man.
but,
I saw
but,
a post
but
earlier,
yeah,
dude.
so I had all that overstock. So I needed to figure something to do with it. So I figured why not round up a whole bunch of really cool people and let's make a show of it.
Yeah, and I think the results are great, man. There were some phenomenal pieces that we're about to take a look at. Um, how do now, if you're an artist and you want to get a show at Toy du jour, how do you go about doing that, man? Just is it as simple as calling them up and saying, "Hey, I got an idea"?
Well, I've been invited to a few of their shows before, and a couple of my friends had their own solo shows. So I took a shot and I messaged Sam. Good idea. But I took a shot just like that, and I messaged Sam and saw checked to see if they had any availability or if it was cool if they could host a show for me.
Mm,
And with me being an artist not close to Chicago, and most of the people on the list weren't close to Chicago either. Only a couple of them actually,
right.
which I probably should have thought about that in the beginning. Of find people that are in Chicago to do it. But I really wanted to just pick a bunch of my favorite artists and good friends and some new people and stuff, and just have some fun with it. So that's what we did. And Toy du jour, Sam at Toy du jour was pretty really awesome with everything, and he was all for it. And I guess we ended up being the first show of 2024 for them.
Oh, nice. Yeah, very
So,
cool.
but now because like I said, we didn't have a whole bunch of artists from Chicago. There wasn't a whole bunch of foot traffic for the first night or
Yeah.
the second night for that matter. So most of the sales are going to be online. But I really wish I could have been there. The setup that they did for it was just phenomenal. I mean, everything just looked so good together. Even the streamers that were hanging down was just it was it
Oh,
was
dude.
just It was
I
bomb.
I
It was
saved
so cool
I saved
looking.
a picture of it. It caught my eye so much. I don't know whose page it came from. It might have came from your page, but somebody had posted that picture of kind of the whole setup. And so we'll take a look at that for sure, man. But that's you're right, dude. What a killer setup that is. Um, and that was you kind of answer my next question too. Is it weird like directing a show and you're not there in person when people are sending their pieces in? Is there a part of you that's like, man, I should be there for that?
I really wanted to be there.
Yeah,
I tried. Uh, the person that was going to come watch my animals ended up getting sick, so they weren't able
oh,
to make it. So
yeah,
I wasn't able to make it. Plus training times, I wasn't gonna be able to get out in time for the person to leave in time. So it
yeah,
just universe said no, you're
yeah,
not going. You know,
yeah, for sure.
but Sam handled it really well and took care of everything for me.
Yeah,
Um, when I put the show together, I just basically laid down all the guidelines for it to everybody that was in the show, and they all pretty much followed it, and we just we got it all done, and everybody had a really good time doing it, because we had a group chat where we'd all talk to
yeah,
each other, everybody
sure.
that was in the show, and we people made some good friends and learned some new things, and just had a great time, you know just being a part of this, and that's what makes it the best, is
Yeah,
not the money or selling them or anything, just to see what they do to the stuff, and then to see them all together in one spot, like the Spacesquatch of the Multiverse. Everybody is there. The multiverse is all there, like the
yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
Very cool, man. I think it's very cool, just as a fan and a collector to kind of see that what everybody does. And we kind of talked about it with False Idols just a minute ago, where you can take a blank that you have of something that you created, which already you love it for all those reasons, right? But then you give it to each different artist, and even artists that are just doing custom paint. I would say they all have their own style, anyways. And if you see enough of them so many times, you start to say, oh, that's got to be blah blah blah, fill in the blank, because it's this style. And then it becomes a whole other thing, man. So um, I have no idea where I was going with that, dude, but that's just a cool part of the show. I guess. Well, I guess what you're saying is that there's kind of, that's a cool part of it to see. And I'm saying that it's, as a fan too, but then as the person who actually made that piece, I mean, shit, man, that's got to be something else to see
Well,
what everybody
well,
else is
let me
pieces.
stop you right there. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to Barely Human Art
Yeah,
first, because he's the one that sculpted this for me. It was just my idea, and he would throw me images, and I'd say, "Can we do this? Can we do that? Why don't we
sure.
add this? Change this up?" But initially, he was the one that sculpted the whole thing. It was just an idea that I've had for forever. In fact, I've made them in resin years ago. Back in 2020 is when I made my first big squatch. That really big one had his arms out with a huge GI Joe helmet on the bootleg.
Yeah,
Um, but that's when the Space Squatch really came about. And then a couple years ago, almost 3 years ago. Well, no, I'd say more like 2 years ago. Me and John Black is Barely Human, but me and him were talking about it, and he said that he really wanted to work with me one day, and I said, well, I've got this idea that I've had
yeah,
forever. If you want to do that, I'd love to see it in your style, because I love his style, the way he makes his little Star Wars figures and his
oh
Planet of
yeah,
the Apes figures and shit like that.
for
They're
sure.
basic, and they're right to the point. It's not a whole bunch of complicated bullshit going on. So
Right.
I really liked his style. So he agreed, and that's where it came about. And I have mad respect for him, and I'm so grateful that he did this, and like it couldn't have come out better, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree, dude. It's a killer show. Let me or I'm sorry, a killer piece too. Now, did he do the sculpt on the original one as well?
Yeah, yeah, he did the original. Well, the second one is basically the original, just larger, and I closed the mouth. The original has the mouth open. The second one has the mouth closed, and it's more of just like a little smirk kind of grin.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see where we at here. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I had the
Speaking of which, before we get too far, I have a
Yeah.
black one that I'd like to give away tonight
Oh,
somehow
nice.
on the show. I don't know how we would do that, but
Easy one, man. Everybody here already has a number. So we'll just throw it on the wheel again and spin it, and whatever number it lands on, there you go.
All right, cool. And this is the V1, so it's the original sculpt that Barely Human did before the mouth got changed.
Nice. I have one of those actually, and
Oh, you got the glow in the dark.
I got
Hell
the
yeah.
oh, because, and I'll show this one real quick here. But my plan is, dude, in your show you got Don or Don't Care in there, and I think her paint work is freaking phenomenal. She's done a couple of pieces for me, man. This might be the next one.
Yeah,
But
she's off the chain, that's for sure. Oh,
dude,
look at that beauty.
dude,
Oh,
look
that's
at
the one she did for you. I remember her showing it to me, saying, "You think he'll like this?" Well, hell yeah, he will.
dude. And what was so cool about this is I didn't know what she was gonna do.
Yep.
Um, Oh
Yep.
my god, dude, that is one of the raddest freaking pieces of my collection. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Um, but so we're gonna jump right in, man. I'm gonna pull up the page real quick, and then we can start going through these things. So how many artists do you have in total?
22 including me, but my piece wasn't painted, so we're not gonna look at that one. Um,
Okay.
so 21 total, yeah.
Let's see.
And I didn't get everybody up there. Well, maybe I did. I think there's maybe one person missing. Um,
Let's see.
only because USPS is or UPS is late or crap or something happened. I don't know, but
Was it Ragnar Squad?
yeah, that's the only one we didn't see
Okay.
because something happened with the package and it got delayed.
Yeah, I should have hit you
So,
up
but
before.
it
Oh,
should
God.
be there. Hopefully, it'll be there by today or tomorrow. So it'll be there for the claim sale tomorrow.
For the sale. Perfect, man. I was gonna hit you up earlier and ask you about that. That's the only one that I didn't find. Some of them you had to dig a little bit for, man. That's why I kept on telling everybody, and I'm going to say it again. If you want to find a good list of all these pieces, we're about to go through them right now, but also go to ETC's page. That's where you're going to find all the pieces. Some artists, like Wonder Goblin, their piece is not on their page. Actually, it's on ETC's page.
And
Um,
there's a flyer on there too. So if I don't think I missed anybody, but if I did, all the names are on that flyer. You can just go check out any of their pages and give them a follow. They're all freaking amazing artists.
yeah, awesome. And this is that setup that we were talking about, man, with the streamers and stuff, and all the pieces. And what a killer display, man! I can't imagine walking in and seeing this thing in person. But you're right, dude. That's a beautiful display right there for an in-store art show. Very cool, man. Must be a little bit surreal to kind of see that in person, huh?
I wish I could have seen it in person.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that would
Let's.
have been pretty freaking awesome. Just the smell of the paint and the new vinyl,
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm sure
and
it was.
all the old toys too.
Yeah, I'm sure it was amazing. All right, so here we go. These are in no particular order. Starting off with Zimico, man. No, he said he forgot to take pictures. These are pictures actually from Toy du Jour. But
Yeah,
man,
I
yeah,
love his because it reminds me of he collects all these old animals, ceramic animals from like the 60s and 70s, painted with like flowers and shit on them that are
yeah,
real tacky looking. But I mean, these days they're freaking awesome. But I think that's what he was going after because this really has that style of paint. Plus, he jeweled the eyes like the old ceramic animals have. They got those jeweled eyes, and all of his toys pretty much have jeweled eyes.
yeah, man. And I think you're exactly right, dude. He does have a lot of ceramic work on there, and there is some stuff in there that looks like it's from like the '70s, maybe, or something like that. And it's got that
Definitely.
same kind of paint. Scheme to it, I guess you would say. But you're right, dude. I think that's probably exactly what he was going for. I always love that orange and teal combo, man. That's a good one. Mm.
Feels like Florida.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome. So Zimico on that one, man. That's very, very cool. This one's Saruga Mark.
Sur-
Um,
Surgamark, Saruga. I never know how to say their names. Yeah,
Saraga Mark,
just call it
Saruga
Surga.
Mark. Yeah.
He went, he went with the old school, like Japanese, just the basic, um, you know, layered colors in certain areas to give it that kind of old kaiju feel.
Sure.
Yeah, They came
Yeah,
out really good. I really like that red one.
yeah, that's very cool. A Choco Squatch and a Tomato Squatch with blobby classic sprays. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good
that
one
one's
too.
beautiful too. Man, it's hard to decide. Team brown is hard to paint on though. I mean, it's brown unless you cover the whole thing, or unless you're doing like an actual normal colored squatch. Brown doesn't really. Not
Yeah,
many things have brown, or Grizzlor has brown, but I already
yeah,
have a
yeah.
Grizzlor.
Man, that's a good one, dude. Phew, very cool. Saraga mark on that one. Bam. Whoops. Dirty Yeti. Dude, this Polaroid one.
Dirty
Damn.
Yeti. Yeah, funny story. Old Dirty Yeti. He sent me a picture of that one, and it was rainbow, and I was like, man, you're probably not going to be the only one that does a rainbow. You should probably add something to that. And
Yeah.
we brainstormed for a little bit, and he came up with the pole idea. And I was like, "That's perfect, dude. It'll work perfect." And he's like, "I'll do the helmet white and the pack black, and that'll be every single color." And then he added the little Polaroid of him catching a picture of a man walking in the wild.
Bro, I just noticed what that was. That's amazing.
Right,
That is
right. And he
amazing.
sculpted the little camera to go with it and everything. I love that piece. That's got some real '80s feel to it.
Dude, the picture of the man. Oh my god, that is great. I Oh,
Right?
man, that is
Perfect.
great.
So perfect.
God dang it.
I
This
wouldn't
is
be surprised
good.
if that was him and out in his own yard and his wife
Yeah,
took a picture of
right.
him in his underwear.
Oh, man, that is awesome. I totally missed that earlier. I saw the camera and I was like, "Oh, shit, he did some sculpting and, he went all out," but that picture, man, that's
Yeah,
great.
I had to order a custom one from him because I liked it so much. I said, "Dude, you got to make me one." So
That's awesome. Oh, man, that is so good.
that's so
The Polaroid scheme too, man. I love that. That's classic. You know, the primary colors just kind of laid out like that. I love that. Super sick. Mm, that's good, man. That's a
yeah,
good one.
beautiful work. All done in acrylic hand paint too. No airbrushing.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that definitely is not airbrush. Damn, dude, that took some time for sure.
And then he puts a clear coat on it that's harder than rock, so you could throw it against the wall and the paint won't come off of it.
Right, right. Oh man, that's good. That's a cool picture, just like that. Great one. Dirty Yeti, man. That's a good one. All right,
He does
next
really good work. You check out his shop. Anybody's interested. He's got a lot of his work that he does a lot of violence toy and other things, and paints them up and puts them in his shop. And I mean, it's just phenomenal stuff. Check it out.
So Dirty Yeti says, let me put this. He says, Tim nailed it. My wife took that pic of me in our backyard at 3 a.m., 30 degrees.
You dirty son of a bitch.
Neighbors are like, what the hell's going on over there? That is funny. All right, next on the list. Yeah, that was good.
Oh shit, Trevor.
Yeah, Trevor. Trevor. Now, Trevor's going to be our first guest coming on for the show. This
Sweet.
was, yeah, this was a great one, man, because there was only two people that I saw that actually did some sort of modification to the helmet, and he was one of them.
Oh,
Trevor,
there was more than two. There was like five or six, but
oh, was there? Okay, I must have missed those.
a
Why?
lot of
Yeah,
them just cut the visor out. But he did the crackling.
visor out.
Kachina did the crackling, and then Pete cut the hood for the killer or for the Phantom.
There you go.
Yeah,
Damn,
yeah.
that's good.
Look at that thing. And the inside of the helmet glows too, so it like lights up his head in the dark,
Very
like
cool.
on the inside of the damn helmet. Like that's something new. There it is.
Woo!
Yeah, that's insane. And he also, just like the original figure, he added that extending lightsaber. out of the hand, just like the original Darth Vader figure.
Nice. Trevor, I see you in the waiting room, man. You let me know when you're ready, and we'll bring you in.
Yeah, I'll quit talking. I'll let him talk about his piece.
God, that's good, man. The soft goods on the cape too. Very cool.
Trevor.
All right, Trevor's ready to go.
All right.
Hey,
Trevor, my man, how are you?
good. How are you doing?
Very good, man. I am. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen there for a quick minute and bring you on, dude. That's some
Tim.
killer looking work, man. What? So tell me how this all came about, man. Tim reached out to you and said, "Hey, I got a project."
Well, actually, Tim and I were talking.
Oh yeah, that's how this fucking came about. I totally forgot. Go ahead, Trevor.
He had a problem with his figures. He was like, "I got a couple extra. What do you think I could do?" And I was like, "Dude, have a group show, man." Like,
That's right. I give credit to Trevor for the show for coming up with the idea.
it only took him like, I think it was like 2 days to kind of get all the details together. He's like, well, where do you think I could have it? I was like, well, you did a show over at Toyzday, and they're in Chicago where that new convention is happening later this year. So you could either try to do it at their table at the show, or do it at their actual gallery, and maybe even have a second show at Collected Con later this year. So yeah, I mean, he came back. He's like, "You want to be in a show?" I was like, "Damn, you did it." He's like, "Yeah, I talked to Toyzday. They're good. Let's go."
That's awesome, man. I'm gonna
Tell which way to go.
That's right. Trevor was first on the list, and he was one of the last to deliver. Look at that.
That was amazing.
But it came out amazing, brother. It was
Thank
perfect,
you.
and I totally understand why. So
yeah, it's the same story. I mean, anybody will tell you the same thing. We had like a death in the family and sickness, and the weather was terrible, and like I just
life
kept
just gets in the way.
Yeah.
I kept running into all these things. But I mean, just like any artist in the toy industry, you know, it gets there. It just might get there right right under the wire, you know.
You definitely got it there, brother, and I really appreciate that under the circumstances, you know.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so we had the funeral and everything, and moving on. It's on to good things. So yep.
All right, talk about your piece. Tell us what went through your mind when you were making this thing.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I got the Spacewatch. I got it off your site, and then you were sending me a blank. But as soon as I saw the piece in person, I saw that panel on the front, and I was like, oh, Darth Vader. And I was like, oh, well, absolutely. I want to do like an OG Kenner style Star Wars figure. And I was like, could I get away with doing that lightsaber that everyone always chewed on? And like, you know, this piece almost had that extension, you know, the like thinner part on the lightsaber that your cousin would always chew on. But I didn't put it on because I thought it was going to look, but it was going to actually be like chewed looking, and
that would have been funny, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, the way that the figure's set up, it really worked with putting the lightsaber in there and having it slide in and out. It took a little bit of thinking about how to do that, but eventually I did. I just don't have the handle on it. It's gravity that helps bring the blade down. So if you have the arm extended up, it's going to slide back in. But it actually is held in by the side of the plastic inside.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's friction that holds it in and gravity that helps it come out.
That arm was built just for it.
I think so. Yeah, it feels like it
for
sure. Yep. Mm-hmm. So then when I was looking at the head, I was like, I started cracking up. I'm like, this would be absolutely perfect for Anakin under the helmet when he's So it was kind of a combination of when Hayden Christensen gets the helmet ripped in half, and he's like, ugh, Uh, so that's where the helmet came in. Then
Good.
I actually have a picture of
Fucking
the head. I didn't put it up, but I have a picture of the head painted, and I really went with kind of like a scrimshaw look where it's like black highlights on it.
Sure.
But I used some of that Wonder Goblin, or sorry, Vinyl Wonder,
Yeah.
fluorescent white on the head. So when you hit it with black light, it glows like white, like
yeah,
ghostly,
right there. Yeah,
like really ghostly white. And then when the lights go off, the helmet behind it is painted with glow in the dark, so it picks that up too. So it's very much. Yeah, thanks. It's fun.
So many different fun things with this toy. You've got the action part with the lightsaber. You've got the UV part with the glow face. You turn off the lights, the inside the helmet glows. It's just so much stuff going on with this figure. You added a cape to it.
Yeah.
Man, you really knocked it out of the park, brother.
And thanks. Yeah, I absolutely wanted to get that. Also, the Kenner, the old Darth Vader, Lando Calrissian cape they had with where it just went through their arms. That was something that was really, really important to me. I almost didn't include it, and I was like, I kind of have to include it if I'm doing the full-on Kenner thing. The fun thing that I actually did sculpt on the helmet, I did a Darth Vader face on there.
Oh, okay.
But I really wanted to leave the sculpt of the helmet, like leave as much of the sculpt intact as I could. So I just went with as soon as I found out that the helmet, that the red plastic was blacklight responsive, I was like, oh shit. Remember?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, that's that red all along the crack of the helmet.
Shit.
That
would have been a good selling point for the red.
Yeah, right. So that is actually it's just the exposed vinyl. Since I was Team Red, I wanted to have that show in the piece. But it's coated. I put a little bit of glitter in some coating and put that there. So that red, the reason I wanted that red there was because in the early, especially episode 4, when you see Darth Vader's glass, the lenses on his face and on his mask, you could see that it's red. It's actually like a deep red, and it's also figures too. So I was like, well, if it cracked, it might be red on the inside, and that might be something that you would see. So again, the name of this figure officially is Darth Onkel, because Vader in German is father and uncle in German is uncle. And he's like a monkey's uncle, kind of. So it's Darth.
Darth.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
So another
they're
on there.
They're doing the claim sale tomorrow. What are people expecting to pay for this piece?
I had 300 on it. I know it's a little high, but I also worked on it for a long time.
It's absolutely fair. It's a showpiece.
Cool, man. Thank you very much.
One of a kind.
Pricing is terrible for artists. It's such like an anxiety inducing thing. Like you never want to underprice your stuff. You never want to overprice because you don't want to look like a dick. But you want to be fair. I mean, I put in a lot. I put in a lot of sweat and, like I said, anxiety and everything into this piece, as I know a lot of the other people who did their pieces did. And you want to be paid fairly. I mean, yeah.
And you can tell, man, there's a lot of work in there. It's a lot of good work, dude. I love the soft goods on the cape.
Thank you very much.
Oh, you got it, man.
Yeah, I got to manicure and a pedicure on him. I got to work with Vinyl Wonder for the first time, which is a really big goal of mine this year, is to start doing more vinyl painting. Really quick, just a side note, I was dying, man. I live right down the road from False Idols Toy. We've never met, never done anything together, but I'm in the DC area, about an hour and a half away from him. And just, I'm like, I probably know, I used to live in Richmond. I'm like, I probably know a bunch of the people that he knows.
Oh, for sure.
I was in the band scene. I was in the DJ scene. I was in radio stations. I was doing all kinds of stuff there when I was there. And I worked in restaurants too. So, I mean, I know that we definitely know some of the same people.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, look at that.
So I'll have to hook up with him at some point and chat it up.
Well, that's awesome, man. Thank you for being on, Trevor. That is some amazing work.
Yes,
We'll
thank you,
definitely, yeah, we'll look for it tomorrow when these go on claim sale for Toy du Jour. But awesome work, man. I'll have to have you come back sometime. We'll just kind of talk about you and what you do. But this
Yeah,
is a phenomenal piece, dude.
I love doing customs, but I'm also part of TNT Plastic. We do resin pieces, we do show pieces, we do all kinds of runs, and we have exclusives with like Tenacious Toys and some other toy companies.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you've never heard of TNT. Be the J.
Oh, TNT Plastic? Oh, I've definitely heard of TNT Plastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's me and my buddy Tommy. So
Yeah, for sure.
TNT.
Right on. Yeah, TNT. Okay, well, cool, man. Thanks for being on, Trevor. And again, dude, killer looking piece, man. Great work.
Cool, man. Thanks a lot. Yeah, I'll
Thanks
definitely
for
talk.
being part of the show, brother.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, and that's going back to what you just said about TNT Plastic, dude. That's one thing that I really like about this show that I didn't say earlier was there are some artists that I'm kind of not familiar with that are in your show, dude, which I think is always cool. I think there's been a lot of shows just within the last maybe 2 months, and it's introduced me to a ton of new artists that are out there, including a couple in this show. But dude, that was a kick-ass piece, man. That was very, very cool.
He nailed it so good, and he had a lot of shit going on. So I'm surprised he got that thing done.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. We're gonna jump back into the pieces here. Let me pull that back up. Capes, dude. I love capes. I was talking to somebody recently, and I'm like, dude, you throw a cape on just about anything, and it makes it look that much cooler to me. I don't know why, but you throw a cape on something, it looks super sick.
All superheroes wear capes.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, maybe not all of them, but
Oh man. All right, here we go. Bam. Next up we got
before we move on, real quick,
yeah.
Dirty Yeti makes these little robot houses, and he's got a whole bunch for sale, and they're freaking awesome. Check them out, Dirty Yeti, the little robot houses. All right,
Nice plug, dude. Nice plug, man. He actually sent me one of those too last week. I believe that was from the Robot Resurrection show.
Yep.
But yeah,
HomeBot.
those are sick, man. Those are all hand sculpted and done up, hand painted. Dirty Yeti, yeah, definitely get over to his. And they're not those are very affordable too, man.
Yeah, they're like $30 or something.
Yeah,
cheap.
exactly.
And they come with like 2 weapons.
Yeah, very cool. House weapons. Nice. All right. So
All right.
next up, check this one out, man. Motley Miscreations. Holy smokes.
I have to say that is one of my favorites by far.
Yeah, I mean, Motley Miscreations just in general, man. Their double cast work, their paint work. God damn, dude, look at that.
It looks like they found it in an Aztec temple somewhere, and that is like an old little icon of their gods or the Anunnakis. It's so phenomenal, like the aging on it and everything. And it's got the blue paint mixed on it still from their body paint and everything. It's so good.
Dude, you're right, man. I didn't even make that connection with the blue paint, dude, like in the movie Apocalyptico, right? Oh, dude.
And most of their artwork, too, has that bright turquoise blue paint. Yeah.
That is way good, dude. Motley Miscreations, man, just when you think that they only do one thing, they took me to school a couple years ago with all the stuff that they're doing, the double cast work and the paint work. I know that they even designed. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. They even designed what?
Oh, I was just gonna say Yucko Toys had done that Astron figure, and I think they 3D sculpted that and printed it out for them, I believe.
Yeah, they're freaking amazing, dude. I met them back, I want to say 2017, back when I lived in California, when they were called Brobots. I don't know if you ever remember Robots, and they made these little robot. I still have a few of them. They sent me some to paint. It never really took off for them. I'm surprised because they were freaking amazing little robot things. And then they started making these little bunnies that had like a skull face, but it was like an actual bunny. It was a cute little bunny with a skull face, and
Yeah.
those for some reason didn't go over well. And he tried a few things with those too. So, but that's how we first met, and then he changed himself to Motley, or they. I don't know if it's a group or if it's just one guy, but
Yeah.
changed it to Motley and started doing all that double casting, and then it just from there, you know.
Wow.
But I mean, we all start off with the stuff that we want to try at first, and then we find our niche. But I
Right.
remember when I first met them, and I love their bots, and I wish they would bring them back and double cast those sons of bitches.
God, dude, that is so good.
But yeah, back to Squatch. They killed it. They killed it.
It's a great
Unbelievable.
Ant has a comment, says Motley also sculpted some Elixir Toys stuff too. That's cool.
Yeah, sounds
God,
about
dude.
right. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Motley.
asked them one time if they would do something with me, and they're just so busy.
Oh, I
And
bet, dude.
so much on their plate, man. I mean, I'm surprised anybody can get in to work with them.
Exactly. And you know, even when you see them at Designer Con and stuff like that, man, there's stuff on their table. It usually goes pretty dang quick.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, their
it's
shit sells out.
super talented. This one right here, man. You're right, dude. I totally. This is worked in so good. I didn't even realize that the work that was done to the helmet, where they've cut it out.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, killer bootlegs on this one. I mean, PSK is you know, that's about as legendary as you get as far uh, as a figure in this community, man. But this is dude, he nailed this one, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I knew he was gonna do the Phantom too, and
Yeah.
he even told me, he's like, you know what I'm gonna do, right? I was like, yeah, I know what you're gonna do. So, and I mean that one. I'm sorry if anybody's going for that one on Friday. It's already sold. But I did message Pete, so if he gets time in the future, he may do some more for his Phantom fans. But as of right now, that's the only one, and like he went all out with the sword and just everything, and the cape.
Yeah.
And I knew he would. I knew it was going to be fucking phenomenal. There's no question in my mind. Pete just does. Ever since I started making toys, Pete was one of the best, and
Yeah.
I actually started not well. I wouldn't say not long after him, probably a year or two after him, but we were kind of in the same group of bootleggers back then, you know, and then
Sure.
the same generation of bootleggers, I guess you would say. So
Yeah.
Pete's more like my brother, kind of real good friends, and I just knew I just knew it would be
Yeah,
amazing.
man. I think one of the very first times that I went into Super 7 in San Francisco was right about the time when they had started selling killer bootleg stuff. And I was oblivious, man. I didn't know who Phantom Star Killer was. And that really was the beginning for me of what totally sucked me in was the PSK figure.
Mm.
You know, the card back that I saw, I think Beast Rec had done the card back, and it's still one of the dopest ones that I think I've seen.
Oh
Um, I was so blown away by just the whole thing of not only that figure, but the look at the figure, that it was being sold in a store, that there was variants of it that I just didn't know
yeah,
anything.
right.
And I'm thinking to myself, dude, what planet have I been living on where I don't know about this stuff, man? And then from there, it was really just an avalanche of, you know, everything you see behind me. And it really started with PSK, man. It's just such an iconic figure. Look at the tubing. He even put the tubing on there, the soft goods on the cape.
Yeah. But
And you know,
and the basic shape and style of the figure with the chest plate and everything, it was like perfect medium for Pete to work on to turn into a Phantom. So
yeah. And dude, you know, what's cool is you always see you want to what I think is really dope, dude. And I don't know, I think Jevaho Creations has done one. But anytime anybody makes anything that resembles a PSK, like even at like a 5.5 scale,
mhm,
like like the Motu body or something like that, I think
right.
that is sick, man. I love that.
There was one guy that was carving like these little block figures out of wood and then just painting them the colors of figures. And he made one like the PSK, and it just looks like some little child's wood carving, but it's freaking amazing. And put the little cape on it and everything. And he's got so many people that does customs of the PSK, and
yeah.
He loves it. He welcomes all of them. It's like more the merrier. It's basically the PSK multiverse.
It's straight up, dude. And check this one out, man. Here's something that speaking of different types of PSKs, dude, this was a Skeletor head. This was done by Underworld Customs, and I had to make it like a Phantom Star Killer.
Underworld's awesome as shit. He got that head from me originally to
really?
That was so long ago. Oh my god, I can't remember how long ago that was. Yeah,
that's crazy, man. I didn't know that.
Ever since. He makes them way better than I do. But
yeah, dude, I want to get that dude on the show, bad man. That old Steve Sandarelli, man, out there in Buffalo, New York.
Buffalo, New York. No, he's in North Tonawanda.
Yeah, he's out there. I know he's a Bills fan, though. We've talked about that before. Just kind of the whole Bills community out there.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a real good dude, man.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to him in a while, actually.
But PSK, man, that's a dope one, man, for sure. That is, and just kind of taking back on how iconic that figure has become. I think one of the things that Healy really hit on with his Raider line, first, especially like those first 12, where it's the same figure, but you're putting different color schemes with those figures that are identifiable with any other, Punisher, Joker, Batman, all the main ones, right? And then, but I guarantee you, man, if you start painting stuff, orange and blue, first thing that come to mind for me is going to be is PSK.
Right.
And there's not many pieces out there that you can say like, oh man, that's the PSK.
Orange, blue, and green. That's what it is for me, because that green face.
Yeah, straight up.
Orange wear and the blue gear. Yeah, that's the
right.
PSK.
So jumping back into the show, bam. Ophelia toys right here, man. God, so good.
There's not much words you can say to express his art. I mean, it's almost speechless what he does to things, like how he did that one. How it's half, like a fucking red devil, and the other one's half like the ice blue. And you got this like zombie looking one, and he tore the eyeballs out and put his own eyeballs in.
Isn't that cool, man? And I think that's a little bit of a signature for him right now, right? Is the doll eyes.
And he altered the helmet too. He just cut the visor out.
That's awesome.
So you can put it on and see the face. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to cover up that face for sure. Damn, that's good. Yeah. But yeah, man, splitting it right down. I mean, I'm sure he taped this whole thing off, and dude, that is crisp, dude. Look at those lines in there.
And the funny thing was when I asked him if he wanted to be part of the show, he's like, "Well, when do you need the toys? Because I'm moving." And I was like, "Oh shit, well, how long do you have?" He's like, "Well, I got about 3 weeks to a month before I close." And he banged that shit out in like a week or two and sent it off. It was like done and gone.
Wow.
I mean, and that looks like, for me, that would take at least a month per each, probably. Because I don't know, maybe not that long, but I was not expecting, him to get done so soon with such amazing quality. And dude had a huge move too.
Yeah,
like I would tell you his business, but I'm not going to. But it was really awesome what happened to him. So
nice. That's sick, man. That's a great looking piece. Donner Don't Care. Speaking of great pieces, Donner Don't Care is going to join us here in a second. You let me know when you're ready. I can see you in the ready to go. Boom. Nice. All right. God, this piece is good. Holy smokes. I'm going to show some other Donner pieces. All right. This is going to be fun. Here we go. Let me stop sharing that real quick.
Yeah, there she is.
Donner don't care.
Donner.
Hello, hello.
How the heck are you?
Fantastic.
Good. Tell me about this piece. This thing is
He's a little crazy. Well,
very
I
crazy.
don't airbrush, so I did one for a piece before this, which Tim owns. So that's why I kicked around the idea of doing fur.
I'll grab it.
It was either that or hand painting, and
Yeah.
I had bought a couple glow blanks, so
Yeah.
seemed like a good idea.
Now, when it comes to the hand painting on that, what turned you away from that? Was it like that piece is just too big?
Well, it is larger, but you run the risk with hand painting. I use flex paints, but at the same time, if you hand paint with acrylics, you run the risk of it cracking down the road.
Gotcha.
So for a showpiece, I didn't really want to go that route. And I also had limited flex paints, so my color palette would have been a little limited right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's the first furry boy.
Oh, very nice. Oh,
Put
that's
me on full screen
cool.
real quick so they can see it.
Let's see. Let me stop sharing.
There's the Grizzlor she did for me.
That is awesome, dude.
I've been trying to figure out fur for like 3 years now, so.
It's phenomenal. You can still see the pack on the back and everything. Just like the vintage figure.
That is. Now, did you use the same kind of material on that you did on, or what is the material that you used in the show?
The material on him?
Yeah.
It's just loose fur.
Oh, just loose fur.
Yep. I put it on in small little clumps at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, he was pretty meticulous. It took me about almost all the time we had to work on him.
Yeah, I remember her stressing at the end. She's like, I don't think I'm going to be part of this show. I'm just going to give up. Like, I can't even count how many times she told me she's going to give up and not be part of the show. And I said, no, you're not. You're not going to give up.
I give up a lot, but I never actually give up. I always show up at the end.
Blah, blah. You nailed it, though, and I'm glad you didn't give up. And, like, right there, that helmet shot with the hair coming out, that's just nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went the opposite way. I cut away the whole helmet and just left the visor. So that it would fit over his head.
Oh, very cool. Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't think about that.
I can't claim it was mine. I had a little help.
Okay.
I love it when his hair's down, though. He looks like an old, like, 70s classic rocker.
That is so cool. Now, what material did you use on this guy?
Same thing. I just bought. It's actually UV reactive fur that I found some company sold.
Gotcha. Okay.
I now have enough to do toys for the rest of my life because you had to buy it by a certain amount. So if anybody wants fur, I got it.
Oh man, another friend of mine, an artist, he was buying some vinyl for capes, and I don't know if he just didn't realize the quantity that he bought, but this guy could be making capes for the next 40 years and still have a decent sized roll left.
Yeah, I bought the smallest size they had available, and the box that showed up is like half as tall as me. So,
speaking of which, if anybody wants a custom Spacesquatch in any color fur, any style, any way, you can buy a blank from me, and I can send it to Dawn, and she can fur the whole thing for you.
There you go.
True. That's true.
There you go.
I've got a lot of blanks left.
Now, as far as figuring out what you were going to do for this piece, what was that process like for you? What made you kind of land on this guy?
Like I said, I had bought a couple of glow blanks. So initially I was Team Red. That was the blank that was sent to me, but I had a few glow blanks already. So I figured if I wasn't going to airbrush, I kind of wanted to go for the wow factor, the glow.
Yeah.
And I had considered kind of doing some of the dot painting like I kind of did with your little skeleton guy.
Yeah.
But then once we kind of threw ideas back and forth, I landed on fur. And I wasn't sure I was going to be able to find anything UV reactive, but I'm glad I did.
Yeah. God, that looks so freaking good. Oh my god, that one. That's the best one. Mm.
Yeah, it's one of the most unique pieces for the show. That's for sure.
Absolutely, man. I was just gonna say it's just so different than everything that's there. But with the hair on it, man, it looks so natural. You know what I mean? I mean, even though the colors are wild, I mean, it looks. God, man, it's good.
I love how the hair is long on it. Makes it look very like he hasn't gone to the barber in a while.
Yeah, right. Like this pink right here coming off like his cheeks area. Oh man, it's great. Very cool.
I have his little cousin here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, spaghetti! Is that mine? That one's mine. Everybody,
That is
that's
yours.
mine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's yours.
But if you want one, like I said.
Yeah, right. While I got you here, I am just going to show off a little bit more of your paint. Number one, Tim, I didn't bring this out earlier. I was saving this, but this is one that I got a while ago. This is the ETC Cash, and then the Donner Don't Care paint and flocking application on that. That's freaking amazing.
That's one of the best flocking she's ever done. That shit is so fucking precise.
I think it's the first flocking I ever did.
Is it?
So
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, wow. Well, damn it. You know what you're best at.
Wow, that's a great one. And then this piece right here was from Magoo. It was just all black. And then I sent it to Don to be painted, and this was the result, which, in my opinion, this is one of the dopest 3.75s that I own. The paint work on that is just insanely good.
I have a lot of pieces.
3.75.
I have a ton of pieces that she's done for me, and I've noticed that Dawn can be very OCD when it comes to her painting. So, like, if it ain't perfect, she'll clean it off and keep going until that shit comes back looking like you bought it from the store.
Yeah, and all of them do. This is a fairly human piece you're talking about.
He's one of my favorites.
Really good, and just like Tim said, the pieces are, there's not a lot of figuring out, what that piece is or what it's supposed to be. Super, super cool. Dawn, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Overdue. That is a phenomenal looking piece right there. I'm excited to see it on sale tomorrow. What is right around the corner for you?
I'm nothing show wise or anything. I've got a couple different pieces with fur that are half done, have been half done.
Yeah,
kind of went on the back burner for this. What? What'd you say?
She's got a lot of shit sitting on that table.
There is a lot of shit. There's some flocking that I owed him. There's some fur that I owed him.
You don't owe me anything. You just got to do it and let's sell that shit, make some money.
Yeah, right.
I'm considering doing Collected Con. I got approved,
nice.
but I haven't finalized yet.
Nice.
Hell yeah! Congratulations.
Thanks. It's possible.
Yeah.
I'm a little afraid I won't get enough pieces done in time, so I got to make a decision here soon, though.
Just show up with 10 really badass pieces. That's all you need.
It takes 2 months to do a fur piece. I mean.
Donner Don't Care, everybody. Thank you for being on the show. Again, amazing piece, and we'll look forward to seeing it hopefully online here in the next few days.
Tomorrow. Maybe.
Tomorrow.
It may have sold. Who knows? But yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Bye.
All right. Donner Don't Care. One of the most underrated artists out there. Just so people know.
Agreed, dude. Agreed. If you start going through her page and see some of the paint work, it's stupid good.
So precise.
Yep. Yeah. Jumping back into the show, man, keeping it going.
All right.
That was Donner Don't Care. We are up to Monster Foot Creations.
Oh shit. Good old Monster Foot. I met this guy back when I first started making toys 11 years ago, and he was one of my first friends in the toy industry, and he actually helped me out a little bit on making molds. He didn't know much about it either, but he told me the basics and stuff like that. So he was there when I first started, and he's still been one of my main G's, you know, since the end. And he took a long break. Like he recently had some shit going on in his life. His father died a few years ago. He had a child, maybe not a few years ago, maybe more like a while back. But he also had his son. I can't remember his name. Damn it. Anyways, beautiful little kid with his wife Chantel. But now he's back to painting again, and this actually brought him back into wanting to do more. So I'm glad he decided to join on, and he really killed this like space camouflage looking theme that he went with.
Definitely, man. I dig that, and I love that story, man, about kind of taking some time off and then coming back to it. I think that's what a lot of artists kind of experience, at least that I've talked to one on one. It's that if you put it down for too long, sometimes it's hard to get back into it. So I always like to see when people actually end up coming back to it and then still putting out killer work, man. This is really sick. Like you said, space camo squatch.
Yes. That color mix is just it's got a total 80s feel too. I love like the vintage color mix going on there.
Me too, man. The pink and black for me it's a winner all day. All day. Monster Foot Creations on that. Good one.
He's from Canada too.
Oh, nice. Canadian. God, a lot of people are from Canada out there.
Hey, all right.
Dude, this one right here, this Kachina. There's actually a couple from him, but this one right here. Whew, dude. This might be one of the best pictures in the whole show.
God. Yeah, the way I think he put a strand of lights in there that had like 200 lights on it or something like that. And there's a switch on the back of it. So you can turn it on and off. And it's got a place where you can change the batteries if it runs out. Or maybe it plugs into the wall. There's a cord on the back. I think it plugs into the wall.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a night light. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kachina never disappoints.
Never,
ever. And when we first met, he was making resin. He was making little Kachinas when I first met him, and I bought a few of these Kachinas. And he got into painting big time, and he's been doing a lot with Wonder Goblin, Elixir, so many different people. And that one that's my custom that I requested him to do, and
Destro, dude.
It blew me away. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorites of all time, dude. Like, I can't wait for a Cobra Commander. Wow. But yeah, Kachina, he's just so good. And he goes all the way too. Like, I didn't ask him to put that collar on him or the missiles, or I just want him painted like Destro, You didn't have to. But he always goes all out with his work, and very impressive, extremely impressive.
Yeah, really, really good, man. Holy smokes.
That one wasn't, just to reiterate, that's not in the show. That's a custom that's coming to me.
Oh, gotcha.
that I paid for.
This is already this is already yours. Damn,
that wasn't even part of the show. It could have been part of the show, but it wasn't. It's
okay.
That's what I ordered that from him. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm sure your collection of these is going to be freaking killer by the time this thing's over. That's awesome.
The other one he did was that zombie-looking one with the cut-up helmet, but we'll get to that one after this one.
Okay, cool. Hobo Toys, another guest coming in. God,
Hobo. Yes, Hobo's coming on.
Dude, that is so damn cool.
Before he comes on, I just want to say I met Hobo on Instagram because of his Monster Mint. I don't know if you've ever seen his Monster Mint or not.
No.
But he actually does customs of them for me now. But they started out as this little guy right here. Whoop, there he is. There's the Monster Man.
Yes.
Okay. And then now he's doing customs. So here's the Toxie Monster Man. I'm sorry my camera's so dark.
No, all good. Yeah.
He'll probably show you these too. But this is how I met him, and that's what he was doing a while back. And then he took a break as well for a long time. And then I said, hey man, I want you to come back and do some more Monster Men. Can you do that for me? Do some customs for me, make some X-Men, Wolverine, shit like that. He's like, yeah, I think I can do that. So he started coming back and doing that. And then I asked him, you're getting really good with these customs. You want to be part of the show? And he's like, well, I've never airbrushed before. And I was like, well, you got this, bro. So he went out and got all the airbrush shit, and here's what he did.
It's amazing, dude. I mean, the whole wrestling vibe. Let's get him in here, and then we can all talk about it.
Okay, yeah.
Hobo Toys. Actually, now that I think about it, dude, probably one of the very first pieces I bought in this community, I'd say probably within the first 10, I think was a Hobo Toys piece.
I love Hobo. Hobo makes such good stuff.
Great up, man. Hobo Toys coming to the stage. You ready, my man? Perfect. Here we go. Hobo Toys.
What up?
What's up, brother? All right.
What is happening, man? How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good,
Yeah.
man. This is a killer-looking piece, dude. You went with the wrestling vibe on here.
Hell yeah.
What led you down that path? I know the figure that Tim just held up. Now, if I remember correctly, man, I think I have a bunch of stickers with the luchador mask and everything from, man, it's got to be a few years ago now.
It might be this dude.
Yeah, it could be.
I think that's the second one I ever made.
Yeah, I was going to go get my big one that looks just like him, but that's the one.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's just kind of, I'm a huge wrestling fan. And I did a Luchador Monster Man forever ago. So it's kind of something I'm into.
Very cool, man. You went all out with the even the lacing on the back of the helmet.
Oh yeah.
The belt
here, dude. That's so good. The belt.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah, I sculpted the plates for the belt, my leather belt, and all of that.
Oh, nice. Damn, that is good. The ETC on the side. Oh man, that is a great looking piece, man. How many hours you think you put into this?
Oh God. Like the belt, that probably took, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 with the sculpting and the paint. That was probably, I'd say another maybe 4 or 5. I don't know, somewhere there, maybe like 10 to 15 hours.
Wow.
Give or take.
For the belt?
No, that's for the whole piece. No,
the whole piece. Oh.
Yeah, the belt, I'd say maybe all together, maybe like 4 hours, 5 hours, somewhere in that ballpark.
That's some dedication right there, brother.
Dude, and the way you ran this lightning all the way up through the pants and then all the way on the helmet too, man.
Yeah, I was nervous as shit doing that too. That's the first piece I've ever airbrushed. It's like, I think I can pull that off. I don't know, but I went for it. Yeah, I think it turned out all right.
You nailed it, bro. Nailed
Thank you.
Hell yes.
Very cool.
I absolutely love it. I love that you went out, and you got yourself the airbrush and you just gave it a shot. You said, fuck it, I'll do it. Let's do this.
Well, hell,
it came out freaking phenomenal.
I'd actually bought the airbrush because me and you had talked about it, God, probably a couple years ago now.
Oh, yeah,
you mentioned getting one, and I did, but I never fucking did anything with it. So it just sat there, and yeah, so that was the first time I ever really did anything with it.
I feel that. I bought one 4 years ago, and I just used it today for the first time. Yeah, it came out. So I love how you cut out the mouth and everything.
Yeah. That was something else I was nervous as hell about too, because I couldn't see the face through the mask, so I was just kind of blindly cutting it.
Yeah.
So if it was off one side or the other, it was gonna look all fucked up.
Yeah.
But
if I knew you were gonna do this one, I would have sent you a translucent helmet so you could have seen through it. Actually, no, I didn't have them at that time. Never mind. I take that back.
Yeah, I was sweating that first cut. I was like, I think I got it. It's like, I hope I got it.
You nailed it, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Like he said, the laces on the back, it's such a nice touch.
Yeah.
Really good, man. So Tim kind of alluded to it a little bit, dude. You took a little bit of a break,
Yeah.
and you're back now.
Yep.
What after the Spacesquatch show? What's next on your plate, or do you have anything?
Hell, just plugging away. I'm working on the WTF show right now.
Nice.
I got a sculpt done for that. I was wanting to get some molds made up so I could cast them and all that for the show, but I'm out of time. So I'm just going to paint up my original sculpt, and then I'm going to make some molds of it once it's all painted up and all that, and I get pictures and all that shit.
Yeah.
But
you know those two that I sent you to customize for me? The monster men?
Yeah.
You can use those for the show if you want.
Okay. Hell, that could be cool. I don't know if I got time though.
Just throwing that out there. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
This is awesome, man. This is God, you got a little bit of everything in there. Now, did you say that you were you had put the airbrush down, or and then picked it back up, or was this
No,
new technique?
That's really like my first time using it, because I'd bought it and I didn't really do anything with it. I kind of sprayed it a couple times, like once, and that was it. I didn't really do anything. So this is my first piece using it at all.
Wow. That's crazy, man. Great job, dude. I mean, for your first go at it, I'm
Yeah.
sure it was a little bit nerve-wracking being that, a showpiece.
Yeah.
And it's your first time picking it up. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So impressive.
Wow.
And then the chest piece and the straps, I hand brushed those. I use the Wonder Vinyl
Yeah.
paint. Yeah, I used that. I hand brushed the toenails and fingernails and the chest piece and straps. But yeah, everything else was airbrushed with that paint.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, that lightning came out so damn good. I remember someone in the group said you did it perfect. I think it was James that said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and that's something that's really crazy to me, is getting into this toy scene. Like, I remember seeing Wonder Goblin stuff just on like a blog site somewhere one day, and I was like, God damn, this dude's shit is so cool.
Yeah.
And now you brought me in, and I'm on a toy show with the Wonder Goblin name on it, and he's complimenting my shit. Like, it's just, oh, it's wild. It's cool as hell.
That's some good shit right there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really.
Well, it's glad to see you back, man. I know there was a big break there for a while.
Yeah.
But like we were just talking about, man, it's always cool to see people come back really strong too. And this is awesome, dude. This is really good work. I can't believe this is your first go around with an airbrush.
Yeah.
Because holy shit, man, that looks really damn good.
Yeah.
So
no, I'm planning on doing some more with it. So
Nice.
I just gotta get some big enough pieces. Like, what I normally work on so small, it's just kind of, I don't know. Like, I feel like airbrush would work better for me with something bigger, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Next show is coming up soon, so I'll be sending out your pieces for that soon.
Hell yeah. Sounds good.
Nice. Well, my man, thank you for coming on tonight, dude. That's a really killer piece. We'll look for it in the online tomorrow when it goes up for sale. But congrats, dude. Killer looking piece.
Well, thank you.
And thank you for coming on the show, dude. Well, I'll have to get you scheduled to do a whole hour with you.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
And God, dude.
Thanks again for being part of the Spacewatch show, brother. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. Like, it's actually been really huge. You've been probably my biggest supporter. Like, you really opened some doors for me. It's been awesome.
Fuck yeah, dude. I love your work, and I want more.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you'll be getting some.
Right on, man. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for your time, dude. I truly appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Later.
Right on. Hey, Tim out here making dreams come true, huh?
They make their own dreams come true. I just put them on the path. I guess.
There you go.
I don't know what that means.
But I mean, cool, man. I mean, he's been, he's been around for a while, dude. And it's, when I think about collecting and actually kind of looking around in here, that's definitely one of the, like I said, one of the first artists that I bought from. And it's cool, 4 years later to see it still going, dude. That's sick.
There's only a few people that I buy resin from, and usually those people, like, I'll buy armies of their shit, and he's one of them. Like,
Yeah.
I've got 30 something of those Monster Men that I've showed you, and I've
Oh,
got a
nice.
huge Juggernaut on the way. He's in the mail right now, and I've got even
Oh,
more
wow.
X-Men planned up. So
Yeah.
it's you get hooked on an artist, and especially one piece, and you just want a whole bunch of that one piece, all different kinds of ways.
Exactly, dude. You're absolutely right, man. It's just different colorways and different looks of the same figure. I think it speaks a lot to the figure itself, but then also to their ability to, hit home runs on all these different schemes, man. It's really cool.
Yeah, his
Um,
Monster Man is very versatile. He could turn his Monster Man into anything that somebody wants.
yeah,
It's insane.
absolutely. Moving on. Now, were these pieces that were? I should have asked you on this.
Yeah, yeah. Those are done by Sir
Yeah,
Jose Serpio.
yeah,
I got the red one,
nice. Okay,
but I paid for him to do this one for me, and then he did the other two for the show. He just posted all three together because they
I
look good together.
they
But
look
yeah,
great together, man.
that brown one is like a Ninja Turtle Squatch or Ninja Squatch.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay, yeah, yeah, I see it.
Ninja Squatch. And then the other one's like a glow in the dark ice yeti.
That is badass right there, dude. I love that one.
And he's from Mexico. And he got those things done like super quick too, and
Wow.
shipped out. Um, he 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 actually went on a trip, I believe, to Japan or Taiwan. So he came back like a week before they had to be shipped out, and he had them done that week and shipped. So that's how fast he had that craziness right.
Gotcha. Yeah, and yeah, you can see this one. He actually cut the face out of that one. But I mean, if you look at all three of these, man, these are three completely different looks as
Yes.
far as the paint scheme goes. And this one almost looks like he's on fire, and then this one looks like he's frozen. I mean, those are
And
three great apps right there.
the look in real in like when you're holding it in your hand, that shit looks like it's covered in glass. It's like so fucking shiny.
Yeah, man. So what am I seeing right here? Is this paint on
It
the
is.
mask, or is that a reflection? Okay, that's paint
Yeah,
in there.
that's paint. Yeah, like a racing helmet. Yeah.
Dude, that's badass, man, to make it look like
So
a
good.
right?
Yeah. I want to know what paints he uses.
Yeah, that is cool. You know what, dude? What's funny? One thing that you mentioned earlier, and you're damn right, dude, is the smell of Toy de jour must be insane right now, dude. That is
All that brand new paint, the brand new vinyl, all mixed together. Mixed
awesome, man.
with vintage toys. Oh, there's the man himself, right there.
Yeah, barely human, man.
The sculptor of the Spacesquatch.
Dude, that thing, it's creepy as shit, in the face, but damn, that is good. Nobody can do it like Mick Extra Truckestrial can. The mixed space squash. That is awesome, dude.
I love that ad that he made. I got stickers coming, so
Oh, nice.
that's so cool. I've got a smaller version of that too. As soon as I saw that, I was like, dude, I need one of those.
Yeah, man. And the paint app on that, I know, I don't paint anything, but I've talked to artists and they say when you go red, white, that's a tough one, man. You know what I mean? Because it can get that can get a little bit sloppy. And if you look red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, red, white, and then
Well,
red,
I'd tell you how he did it, but most people that paint know how he did it, but I'm not going to say how he did it. It's pretty simple, though. It just takes a long time.
yeah, meticulous, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
if it
time.
takes a long time, God. Well, there he is, the Spacesquatch.
I will say that it helped that he was Team Red.
Oh, yeah, no shit. Definitely, definitely would help there. But God, that's good, dude. Oh, with the eyes, dude, that looks so creepy.
He also did a Mickey Mouse one, but I bought that one.
Oh, nice.
It never made it to the show, but yeah, he loves doing characters of
Sure.
iconic figures that steal your money, like Ronald McDonald, Mickey Mouse, shit like that.
Right.
I own a couple of his old resin. He used to make Planet of the Apes 3.75 figures. He put it on like a Star Wars body with a Planet of the Apes head. And then he painted like Ronald McDonald. I'm like, man, that is freaking. It's so classic. It's just. It could even be sloppy as fuck. It's just an amazing idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure is. It's a good one, man. This one again. So this one will be on sale tomorrow.
If it hasn't been sold already, yes.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I think that one's around 250, if I remember. It maybe more, maybe less. Don't quote me. So.
Yeah. How big is that piece in general overall, man? I'm looking at the version 1 in front of me, and the version 2 is obviously bigger. What's the overall height on that one?
It's 2.5 inches taller than yours, so 10.5 inches tall with the helmet on.
Wow. It's a big dude. So, like you said, the prices are kind of up there, man, but it's a huge piece with a ton of work that goes into every.
It's a very large piece, yeah. Yeah.
Akashic Records, man. These ones.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Those are good.
I love that rainbow stuff he does. So I recommended that he do one of them in that rainbow look, like this piece I got from him.
Oh wow. Yeah, dude.
So I told him, I said, yeah, dude, you totally need to do one of those because that shit stands out so damn good. And it's UV reflective, so you put it in the black light, it just jumps right at you.
Oh wow, I bet. Dude, yeah, I mean, he nailed the yellow, orange, red, right? Dude, this almost looks like that thermal. You know what I mean? Like that Predator thermal type look.
Kind of like that mixed with tie dye.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's good.
Oh yeah, so good. And those take him forever to do. So he was kind of standoffish at first. He's like, man, I don't really want to do that. I was like, all right, then don't do it. Do whatever you want to do. But he ended up doing it. So I'm glad he did.
Yeah.
Shit turned out great.
Yeah, it did, man. And then the fade into those other colors too, man. I'm sure. I mean, that stuff can all not be easy. This is another.
Then he also did a space camo as well, like a monster foot, but in the purple and the blue and the black. Yeah. I love the eyes on that one.
Yeah,
they almost look like they're hollow. It's like you just
right. God, man.
Yeah, such good work. I check out his page all the time. He's got a ton of shit in his shop that he paints up, and real decent prices too. Like nothing that's gonna break the bank. And
right.
I recently got this dude from him, and I'm so happy with it.
Oh man, that's sick.
So happy with this guy. So such good paint work.
This is Nervous Wreck. Nervous Wreck, we didn't end up linking up to be on the show, but this is a killer looking piece, man.
Nervous Wreck went out of his comfort zone for this one. He normally sculpts everything. I don't know if you follow Nervous Wreck or if any of you guys do, but everything he does is like all clay work, all one of a kind, all hand painted shit. When he first got this piece, he asked me, "Is it okay if I sculpt over it?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can sculpt over it." And he's like, "The whole thing?" I was like, what, you want to sculpt over the entire thing so you can't see any of the vinyl? I was like, yeah, is that all right? I was like, well, I'd like to at least see his face or something that shows. And I guess we
Sure.
kind of had a miscommunication because what he wanted to do was resculpt it in his own style. So it would be his Spacewatch, basically. It would still look like it, but it would be his own style. But he would need to sculpt over the whole thing.
Right.
But so because of that miscommunication, he ended up just painting it. And this is the first time he's ever just painted anything in God knows how long. Like he totally went out of his comfort zone, like I was saying.
Yeah.
So, but he is set up for the next show where he can sculpt over the whole thing.
That's awesome, man. And just the placement of the eyes, how it gives it a completely different look. I do like this one, how he's looking up in the sky.
Yeah, he's looking off.
Yeah. I love the yellow green fade too.
It's almost like a 7-Up Sprite kind of look.
Yeah, exactly, man. With and then he hit it up with the black on the to get into some of those details. God, that's good. And so you said he's typically just a sculptor.
Yeah, he said to us that he hasn't painted in so long that he didn't know if he was even going to be able to do this, but he ended up just banging it out.
Wow, that's good, man. That's real good. Next on the list, Nervous Wreck on this one. That's NERVISWR3. Okay. Nervous Wreck.
Good guy.
Some more pictures of Nervous Wreck's work here.
Yeah, if you check out his page, it's way different than this. Way different. But he does absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, here's another one. Rick Stroh on this one.
Yes. Richard Strohmeyer.
Lots of
the classic Beastman and Merman look to fit the multiverse theme.
That's awesome, man. Nailed the colors. God, that helmet is wild, dude.
Right?
Holy
that is
smoke.
a beastly helmet, that's for sure.
Yeah. God, that's good. Man, so much time put into these things, man. I mean, how hard is it to paint vinyl, man? You tell me, like on a scale of 1 to 10.
Well, today I just started airbrushing and it was extremely easy compared to what I was thinking it was going to be. Like I was sweating trying to do that shit, trying to figure out pushing down, pushing forward, pushing back. But I actually enjoy it more than brushwork. I can control that little nozzle pretty easy. But it all depends. I mean, like Dirty Yeti, he does an airbrush. I think Killer Bootlegs painted the whole thing by hand. So it all depends on the artist. I know Rich. I think he paints everything by hand. I'm pretty sure he does.
Yeah. God, that's good, man. I love the crossover. Going back to the colors again. When you throw some certain colors on figures, it doesn't really matter what the figure is. You kind of relate that color scheme to a certain figure. And like you said, dude, all part of the multiverse. That's awesome. And he went with 2 above and beyond, right? Did they have a choice on how many they wanted to do for the show, or you just sent them however they wanted?
Well, some of them I sent 2 because I wanted one done for myself, but some of them forgot. Some of them forgot about that and just ended up doing 2. I don't think Richard was one of those. I think I actually sent Richard 2 to do.
Nice.
But yeah, but I mean, I'm glad that I didn't get any extras because I'd rather have more for the show.
Wow. God, there's a lot of work in that.
Yeah, he nailed those. Totally. I love the merman one.
Bro.
The face on the merman one is just insane.
Yeah, it's good. Again with the eyes, you know what I mean? It's funny how different artists do the eyes, and it just gives it, just the eyes alone, I think, gives it a different look.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. Rick Stroh on that one. Give him a follow.
Richard Strohmeyer.
Go. Soko Cat on this one. This was a little teaser post.
Yeah, I think I didn't. I post a. I should have posted. I think I posted a regular post for her. It was one of the. There it is.
Boom.
That's the picture of him right there.
This
now,
one.
these are the V1. These are smaller. These are the V1. She already had 2 from the first drop, and she wanted to get on the show at the very end, and I didn't have anything else to send out.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I was like, well, do you still have those 2 that I sent you to paint? She's like, yeah. I was like, all right, do those. So, yeah, these are a little smaller, but she puts a lot of detail into her work, a lot of shadowing.
Yeah, dude, I love this one. This is one of my favorites in the show right here. And I think it's not only the pink and the teal, but the helmet here too, man. There's something going on with that helmet that I really like. I think it's the teal and the kind
gold visor, dude. The gold visor.
Yeah, the gold
Makes
visor,
it look
dude.
like a real helmet. Yeah.
It almost looks like a sunset, man. It almost looks like kind of copper or bronzes, but yeah, you're right. It's the face mask. That's badass.
Yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, her paint is phenomenal. I've been following her ever since I started making toys. Even before I was making toys, I tried to enter into her little contest where she would customize little kid robot dummies and shit.
Right.
And, yeah. So I've known her before 11 years ago, 12 years ago. Yeah, she's really good at what she does. But yeah, those are the smaller ones. So if you buy those tomorrow, if you claim any of those, they will be only 8 inches tall.
Gotcha. Pete saying that he airbrushed his for the most part and then hand painted the finer details. So,
oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, kind of worked in both of them there. That's cool.
He probably airbrushed the orange because that was just way too much to hand paint.
Yeah, no kidding, right? God, those are good, man. You're right. The details on here. Gosh, especially when you zoom in like that, dude, you can really see what's going on.
Yeah, it's like she put a shadow in every little crack of fur.
Right. Golly. Really good. Soko Cat on that one.
Soko Cat.
This one, man. Tell me about this guy.
Oh, that's me. That's just I just took a clear one and filled it with some really thin holographic tinsel. So like the picture, you really can't see it, but when there's a flash on it, or if you got it in the sun, it looks like a static TV with all those little you get green and red and blues flashing back at you.
Yeah, dude, I'm surprised you said that. I thought you wrapped it in foil or stuffed foil in it.
That's no, it's tinsel. It's very, very thin tinsel. Because like I said, I wanted to look like static TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool, man.
That's the cheapest of the show. It's only $110. Woo.
Now, how much were the blanks in your shop that you were doing?
They're $100. $100.
Yeah, I was going to say
tax.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, if you don't want to pay tax, you can always DM me through Instagram, and we can just charge you for $100 plus shipping. So a lot of people are deterred by the tax, but unfortunately, we all pay taxes.
Unfortunately, man, God, dude, I turned my taxes in the other day at 11:58 p.m., dude. 2 minutes to spare.
Dude,
this one, close. Yeah, cutting it close. Last resort, man.
Last resort.
I've kind of put these backwards. So this is awesome, man. I love this one. I love the goggles on here, but this one right here, this is what really blew me away. Whoo!
Yeah, it's one of my favorites because it has a Mad Max feel to it, with the goggles and the dirty, like sandy look to it, like it's been just riding around the desert all day.
Yeah, and that glow undertone, man. God, I love that, dude. You can see it peeking through.
Yeah, he was Team Glow.
I was gonna say that probably Team Glow, right? Glow blank, and God, dude, great job on cutting the face mask out.
Yeah, he does amazing. Like, I'm sending Budator V11. China's got it. It's going into production in the vinyl, and
Yeah.
he's the one that sculpted that, and it's like the most phenomenal Budator sculpt. I don't know why sculpts like this. This guy, like, I don't know if you know Last Resort. I mean, I'm sure you do, but anybody
Yeah.
else, if you don't know Last Resort, he does the trash bag bunch figures.
Right.
He's doing them in a larger scale, much larger scale, but they are identical to the minis, and he sculpts everything by hand. It's
Wow.
insane how good this guy is to make that shit.
Wow, that is crazy, man. God,
definitely check out Last Resort Toys if you're not following him. It's and all his vinyl is actually pretty damn cheap compared to the size. Like, you're talking about huge toys.
Oh, dude. Yes, absolutely, man. I finally met him in person at DesignerCon last year. And you're right, dude. The scale of those things is crazy. The other thing that I thought was really wild, dude, how some of those pieces have swappable faces. I didn't
Yes,
realize that that was a thing. You know what I
the
mean? But
pumpkins. I
the
love the
pumpkin, yeah,
pumpkins.
with swappable faces.
That
You
is
know,
a crazy. I've never seen a vinyl like that, where you got those long, thin arms with all those
yeah,
stretchy fingers, and it's solid vinyl. It's not hollow.
yeah,
It's
right.
hard. It's like, what the hell? This guy is paying big money to get. This is some of the most quality vinyl I've ever seen. It's some
100%, dude.
shit.
Agreed. And
I've
I
got one of his pieces, right? Tiny little, the Deemer,
yeah.
or the Diener erasers. This is a large version of the Diener eraser, the Martian. And this
Oh,
thing
that
is, that shit's so hard you can put a nail in the wall.
absolutely, dude. I have a, I think the only piece that I have, it's a big one, dude, and because it's a blank and it's yellow, but it's the Frog Cuda, and
Yes,
that thing's
yes.
massive, dude. You know what I mean?
I have the painted one right here.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go, dude.
Dude, this from what was it? The Underworlds, the Realm of the Underworld
Yeah, yeah,
toy. Yep. They used to be little PVC figures.
right. And I went with the
Dude,
yellow.
it's so amazing.
Yeah,
So
really, really good, dude. I think the first thing that I bought from him at DesignerCon was a lighter. He was the only one who had lighters, dude, with his logo and name on it.
oh, nice.
I
That's a
was like,
good idea.
dude,
Shit,
it's
there's a lot of people that smoke weed out there.
fuck. You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't have a lighter in their pocket? You know?
I was thinking of getting Lucky Rabbit Foots, but now I'm gonna get lighters.
There you go. Lucky Rabbit's was that's funny. Or you know how someone's always stealing your lighter, you could always like put on there, this lighter was stolen from fill in the blank, you know?
Or a Lucky Squatch Foot. Oh,
Yeah, there you go. Lucky
there it
Squad.
is.
Last reason. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that would be great. There you go.
Cool,
Last
cool.
resort with this one, man. This was a great one. God, dude, the glow on it was super, super solid. I think we got one left, and the last one. It's actually the last one that I found, man. I'm glad you posted this. But Wonder Goblins.
Wonder Goblin.
I mean, what a killer looking piece, man. Obviously with the vinyl Wonder paint.
Well,
Which
that's two different pieces. Just
oh,
one
is
just
it?
has the helmet on it. Yeah.
You're right. Those are different. I'm looking at the legs right now. I'm like, yeah, those are two completely different pieces, man. Would you say that Vinyl Wonder is kind of like the go-to standard for vinyl paint? I have no idea.
Well, I used it today. It's the first time I've ever used it, and I absolutely love it. And you can mix it, like if you're a tattoo artist or if you know about mixing paint, you can add a little yellow to your green to make it brighter, or you can make your own colors basically,
Sure.
and it's so easy to use. Um, if you want to know his process on how to do it, he's got videos on YouTube, a bunch of them, and that's how I learned. And it's so damn. So I was scared. I was afraid to try it out, and I tried it out earlier today, and I ended up like painting almost 3 pieces until my brush died because I got one of
Oh,
those.
wow.
I got one of those. It's like a plug-in one. So it only lasts for like maybe 30 minutes. But then I went back and did it for another 30 minutes to finish off the piece once it charged back up again. So I really like his paints, and I want to definitely get some more colors.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And these pieces, I mean, clean, dude. Really, I like the fade. You know, I think sometimes when it that fade, like it gets, I don't know, even know how to explain it, like too faded, then you start getting these kind of weird colors in there. But these ones, I mean, look at this one on the left, like in this area right here, how it just goes from that green into like a teal, into the blue, into the purple.
Yeah,
Sick.
he's really good at that. I own a couple of squatches he did already, the Martian Sunset and the Martian Sunrise, and they were faded like that too. And like, I gotta ask him how he does it because it's so good.
Yeah, so good, man. And I'm excited about that vinyl that he's coming out with. He's doing that with Craftsman, isn't he?
Are you talking about the mushroom tank looking thing that he just posted?
I can't remember which one it was, but I thought I read something within the last maybe few weeks where Craftsman and him were going to be making a vinyl. It might be that one. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't think that's Craftsman. He just posted that today, that I saw, but I didn't see Craftsman on it. So
yeah, I thought they were working on something. I know Craftsman had made a couple or at least one video about just kind of vinyl toys in general. And then it looks like they linked up somewhere along the way. But cool looking pieces, man. 2 pieces from Wonder Goblin there. Those are
real
sharp.
quick, let's pull up the list real quick. Let's see if we missed anybody so we can talk about them.
Yeah.
I know Toy du Jour didn't post, but he did a space version, like an outer space version, stars, and I think there's lights inside. I ended up purchasing that one. So that was in my collection, but he never posted a picture of it. But can you pull up the list real quick, see if we missed anything?
Yep. Let's see here.
I don't think we did though.
Yeah, there is a. Oh, that's kind of a weird picture.
Getting too damn close to the camera.
Let's see. Oops. Nope. Of course, I saw that list about 1,000,000 times.
I don't think we missed it, but
yeah, I know that the only one that I think that was not on there was Ragnar. Yeah. Which is I'm sure. And you said that one will be on display though tomorrow, correct?
Hopefully, UPS was able to deliver today or yesterday. I haven't talked to Sam yet, but he did say that they left a notification that it was trying to be delivered. So, yeah, I don't think we missed anybody.
There we go.
Just wanted to make sure though.
Monster Flood got him. Ragnar, Barely Human. Yeah, I think we got them all.
All right, cool. It just feels it went so fast.
It did go so fast, dude. And you know what, man? Honestly, I think it was my bad on one of my posts. I don't know what I was thinking, dude. I think I put I think I saw that list and I was like, oh man, there's got to be over 30 people on there. You know, so I think I put in my post that there was going to be over 30 artists, and I counted them, and I'm just like, man, am I looking at an old post? I could have swore there was more people in it, but still, dude, 20. Let me get your take on something real quick, man, because there's been something. Oh, actually, we have to do your giveaway real quick too. So you guys,
yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah, you guys hang around for that. We're going to spin the wheel one more time. But doing a show, there's been now, just from what I've seen recently, it seems like you can do it 2 ways. You can have an open show, right, where it's typically going to draw a lot of people to it, a lot of artists, because I think the formats for those are so wide, like Ninja Turtles, right? I mean, you can probably have 300 artists in there and have 3 unique pieces. This one had 20 artists.
21.
21, and it's a smaller, I would say, more manageable show. I think I've heard people chatter about, they only like open shows because they don't want to leave anybody out. But I think when you have a smaller show like this, I don't think you're intentionally trying to leave anybody out. I think you're trying to have a very specific show and you want specific artists who excel in what you think this could be. Just give me your quick take, man, on small shows versus open shows.
Well, when you have an open show, more than like the recent ones, the TMNT one, the Apocalypto one, there's one other, the WWF one that Hobo's doing. These are all people that are joining onto shows that don't have a piece that's coming to them. They just basically make whatever to be part of the show, and it's an online show. So the smaller shows, I believe, are the ones where people are supplying the pieces to the artists, like me, and so people don't feel like they were left out. I basically was just picking people until I ran out of Squatch. So it's not that I left you out. I just didn't get to you before I ran out of Squatch.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, man. And I think that, even with the smaller shows, I don't think anybody's intention ever is to leave people out. I think that there's plenty of room for open shows, and I think there's plenty of rooms for smaller specific shows like this. And they can be amazing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say they can be great shows, just like this one, dude. This was a killer show, man. We had, at least 21 artists, and there was at least 21 pieces that were all just sick, really sick pieces.
And it was an epic lineup, in my opinion. I mean, everybody, even Hobo Toys, and Trevor, who have never done the airbrush thing, like this is their first time airbrushing something and putting it into a show. I mean, everybody did so fucking good.
Yeah, straight up, man.
And my next show is going to be an online show. So far I've got 15 artists.
Oh wow!
It's going to be like the Apocalypto, the TMT, and all that, but it's going to be a small show, only because that's the stock I have, and that's the medium we're working on. If anybody wants to be part of that show that I haven't talked to yet, that owns the Spacesquatch from either the first or the second or third drop, and you want to use what you bought for the show, hit me up. I'll put you on the list. Definitely. But I'm out of what I can hand out for this one. But I am going to order more from Brazil just to do another show.
Nice.
Not even sell them, just so I can get even more artists in to get on this, and maybe, make some more custom Spacesquatch.
Yeah, there you go, man. And when is this online show coming up?
I'm thinking probably mid to late July is when it's going to happen.
Oh, cool.
I can give you a list of the artists if you want to hear them.
That'd be great, man. Let me see what you got so far.
All right, hold on 1 second. We do have a few repeaters from the first show, but for the most part, we got a bunch of new names. Strafe 7.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Baba Drock.
Nice.
Nervous Wreck is coming back so he can do the full sculpt like he wanted to. Dawn, of course. Hobo again. Joseph Harmon this time. You know who Joseph Harmon is?
Yeah. Yep.
Soko still has a few left from the very first drop that she's going to be putting on there. Evil Dave.
Ooh, nice.
Monsterfoot's coming back again for one more time. TL Flanagan Art. Tiffany Flanagan.
Nice. Very nice.
Barely Human will be back again, of course. An artist from Finland called Copper Inks.
Okay.
Someone new to check out that I don't think any of you have heard of. Kachina, of course. Richard Strohmeyer is coming back. And Patrick C. Sparrow, the guy who did all the artwork for the first and the second one.
Yeah.
I still have a few more people I'm waiting to hear back from, but that's the list so far.
Nice, man. That's going to be a good one. And that's another Spacewatch show?
Yeah, it'll be for the V1.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
V1 size, unless they have a V2 and they want to add it in, that's fine too.
So there you go. All right, man.
We also got to give this dude away.
Yeah, let's give this dude away. Let me pull up the wheel real quick. Again, this is for the Spacewatch V1 Black Blank.
Onyx.
Onyx. There you go. Here we go. Good luck, everyone. 1 through 33 again. I'm 25 today.
Who's 25?
Let's see.
What's that say?
I might not have removed that one.
Uh-oh. Spin again.
Yeah, no, it's going to be spin again. That was Spirit Crusher. So
Spirit Crusher. Your spirit has been crushed.
Yeah, your spirit has been crushed. I don't know how that works. Dude, that guy's collection, I swear, is freaking bonkers, man. Here we go. 38. James Arson. James Arson. Now, James Arson is also a artist, I believe. So, James Arson, if you are watching,
shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
With your address in order to win. If you don't, then I'll keep the black guy.
There you go.
Well, not the black guy. Sorry, the black squatch.
Gosh, man. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's right. And you know what, man? I think I actually have his address too. He's in the Pacific Northwest. I'm just looking at his account. It's James Arson Toys. So he
send it to me if you got it. If I don't hear from him, I'll still send it to him. And if you want to spin 3 more times, I got 3 lucky Squatch foot keychains to give away.
Oh man, let's do it. 3 Squatch keychains. Man, dude, what is up with the giveaways? Like they just won't stop. Boom. We're going to share the screen real quick. 3 more spins coming up, courtesy of ETC.
And then that's it. No more free shit.
Dude, last week or the week before, whatever it was, dude, I gave out like 22 things. It was nuts.
Holy shit.
Number 2.
Oh, that's a low number.
That is a low number. Let's see. Who is number 2? Lynn's the Rat Boy. So here's what we'll do for Lynn's the Rat Boy, man. Lynn's the Rat Boy lives in Australia. I have a box going to him already. I will hold that back. You send that to me. I'll send it to him.
Cool. Send me your address. I will.
Absolutely, man. So here we go.
All right. Good deal. Congratulations, Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn. Boom. Dude, Lynn has a hell of a box coming to him. I've been saving up to send this stuff over here. Number 11. Oh, man. So this is an account, Glass Eagle Knife Co.
That's a nice name.
Yeah, and I want to say, man, that they are a friend of Strafe 7.
Oh.
Yeah.
If they are, then I can send the foot to him with his Squatch.
There you go.
Either way, they can DM me or Strafe can DM me.
There you go.
Cool.
Eagle Knife. Congrats. And the last spin of the night.
Last spin.
Here it is.
That's a good number.
I
like that number.
That is. Oh wow! How about this one? Super Terrible Toys.
Super what?
Super Terrible Toys.
I like him. I
Yeah,
like the name of his name.
yeah. Super Terrible
I think I
Toys.
follow that dude actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Cool.
they actually won last week as well. But I already sent that package out, so I can't send you their address though because I do have that. So
That's right. Everybody that's watching, if you won tonight, make sure you send me a DM. And I'll send this stuff out to you. If you don't message me though, I'm keeping it.
yeah, there you go, man. That's kind of the rules that we developed a while ago because there's some of the stuff where I'm sitting on it for months, and you're just like, man, is someone ever going to claim this or
You
what?
got to watch the show to win, you know.
Yeah, that's it, man. Well, dude, that was incredibly generous of you, man. That was 4 giveaways from you, 4 giveaways from False Idols, another 8 giveaways. I think we've hit 30 giveaways in 2 weeks.
Holy shit.
Hell is going on, man?
Free toys, fuck the world.
Yeah. Free toys. That's it, man. Man, Tim, thank you for being on, dude. It is always a pleasure to have you on, man. I got to get you back on here again in just a format where we kind of rap about whatever the hell's going on. Phenomenal show, dude. Congrats, dude.
I got the Buddha tour coming soon. Maybe we can do that when they come in and we can rap about that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The Buddha tour. That's a dude, that's starting to be one of those legendary pieces where you're like, if you don't know about the Buddha door, come on, man, what are you doing? Like, where you been? You know?
Buddha tour for me is like PSK for Pete.
At 100%. I agree, man. Another killer piece, dude. But congrats again. Congrats at Toy du Jour. What a phenomenal show to have in store for people to look at.
Thank you, Toy du Jour. Thank you, Sam, for everything that you did. You know.
Pieces will be on sale tomorrow, claim style, at the Toy du Jour site on IG.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what time, but I'm guessing probably around noon, maybe after. Could be sooner though, so just check.
Set your alarms if you want. I don't know what order they're going to be in, but if that's something that you're interested in any of these pieces, set your alarm for Toy du Jour to get that alert when they start going on sale. So. Tim, thanks again, man. Appreciate your time, dude. What do you have? So what's next for you immediately around the corner?
I got a drop this Saturday in my ETC Glow Zone on the Facebook.
Sweet.
That's what I do most of is my resin still. I just don't do it on Instagram because Instagram doesn't really have a following for resin much anymore.
Yeah,
because of the algorithm, you know.
Sure.
But
do you think you get a lot more traffic on Facebook?
And ever since I started my group, I get way more fucking traffic. Like,
yeah,
I have pretty successful drops every weekend. But I also cater to the EDC community now. So the little small pocket glow toys. Everybody loves that little small glow shit.
Sure.
But I've got a really solid community or group. So if you want to come check it out, ETC Glow Zone on the Facebook.
ETC Glow Zone, man. I'm about ready to. I haven't really done the Toys Alive Facebook thing yet, man. I tried to do one and I screwed it up instantly, so I deleted it. But then it takes like 30 days for it to delete or some shit like that. So
it takes a while.
Yeah, I got to get that fired back up again. But so you guys take a look at weekly drops in the ETC Glow Zone on Facebook. Follow Tim at ETC Toys Extraterrestrial on IG. Keep a lookout for that new Spacewatch show coming out. That'll be the V1. And that's about it, man. Thanks again for coming on, dude. It was a blast. I thought we were going to do an hour. We did 2 hours instead. So there you have it.
I appreciate you so much, brother. Thank you so much this was your idea. You asked me too. So I really appreciate you coming to me for this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's do it again for your next show, dude, for sure.
Definitely. I'll be ready.
Right on, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week with Swarm COD in the house.
Fuck yeah, Swarm.
There you go.
All right, brother.
Take it easy, man.
You too.
Boom. Episode 101 next week. Or I'm sorry, 102 next week. Swarm COD. I'm actually going to be trying to go down to Swarm COD shop, which is about an hour south of me. I'm going to try to get in there and do some recording next Wednesday. And then we'll do the interview on Thursday. Thank you for everybody who's watching us on the replay. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you next week. Keep an eye out for the giveaway post next Wednesday and the following posts coming up for the rest of the week and over the weekend. Everybody stay safe. See you next Thursday.